light, so cold, sleep is nice. So tired, my eyes fight, they just wanna close back up tight. Get up, hoodie on, hard work at the crack of dawn. This life ain't for the weak ones, no, this life pure only for the strong. Feeling slow, shake it off, don't got time for negative thoughts. Red sight, got the dot, shoot my shot, I want the top. Never lost, got my block, know my story, I know my boss. I won't fight against the clock, time's a limited gift from God. One day I will have my victory, crush all my enemies so viciously. Work so hard my hands are blistering, and they will carve my name in history.
What is up, everybody? Happy Thursday, April the 16th of 2026. It is officially WrestleMania week. Nick Fiore of FioriousNation, one half of the Forbidden Podcast. On my right, the other half of the Forbidden Podcast, Adam Carl. It is WrestleMania week. We are just 2 days away from WrestleMania weekend for WrestleMania 42, taking place live from Las Vegas, Nevada at Allegiant Stadium. It is officially here, folks. WrestleMania week, Vegas week for WrestleMania. We got WrestleMania preview predictions here on this video here on the channel. We're talking WrestleMania 42, night 1 and night 2, the build, the matches, etc., etc. But it is Thursday, the 16th of April of 2026. Like I said, once again, it is a beautiful late Thursday morning here in Poughkeepsie, New York. Beautiful, beautiful Thursday. Adam Carl, how are we doing here, brother, for WrestleMania week?
Yeah, looking forward to the weekend. I can sincerely hope that the shows themselves are good.
Yeah,
because the build-up, got a lot to say about it, but just to say it in short order here, the build-up has been less than enthused.
Yeah.
It's left a lot to be desired.
Comparing it to last year, though, last year's was terrible. Last year's was not good at all.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah. How would you say, though, quick question before we begin, what do you feel about this year's build compared to last year? Is it better? Is it worse? Match card wise, you think it's better or worse in your opinion? Because honestly, I think that on paper, the card this year for Mania looks a lot better than last year's Mania card. Now it's just, it looks good on paper. Now they just have to stick the landing and deliver and put pen to paper, if you know what I'm saying. So, but overall, I think the card this year looks a lot better than last year's, because last year's was really not that good. And I don't know how you feel about as far as like the build. I mean, it's not all terrible, but there's some things to like, some things to not like, in my opinion. Like Obafemi Brock Lesnar is definitely one that's been booked perfectly. Roman and Punk, they did start good, then they went kind of a little nosedive downhill. It's not bad. It's still good. Looking forward to that on the main event of night 2, WrestleMania Sunday. Cody and Randy is one of the worst, if not the worst, of the entire build, and has really put a damper on this whole build, and a big reason why a lot of people are saying, yeah, this build hasn't been that good. But not worse than last year's, but still not good this year. And I think the Pat McAfee situation has a lot to do with that. I don't know how you genuinely feel about this entire build and the card itself. I want to get your thoughts on that, dude. Because from the way I see it, I mean, looking at the card, I mean, and night 2 looks a lot better than night 1, in my opinion. Not to say to say that night 1 can't deliver, but I think night 2 looks a lot stronger. But Adam Carl, I want to get your overall thoughts on the entire build as a whole and comparing it to last year as well as the match card.
Honestly, I think the build has been much better this year. Like trust me when I say this. I would take Brock Lesnar and Obafemi's build alone over anything that happened last year.
Yeah,
like last year was shit. Like at least there's some cohesiveness this year. Aside, like outside of Orton and Cody, which has been a mess. And then you have Jaden and Rhea.
Say the Orton Cody thing is a mess is a huge understatement. It started great with Randy turned heel, and it was this is going to be great. And they have 20 years history dating all the way back to the Legacy, even pre-Legacy days in the late 2000s. And then when Ari Emanuel thought Pat McAfee was the next Sylvester Stallone, and we had Pat McAfee inserted into this Cody and Randy stuff, which he had no business in it to begin with, did Pat McAfee. Then it took a big crash and burn down. And I think that is a major reason why a lot of people are saying, yeah, this build is not that good this year. And had Pat McAfee not been in the build for Cody and Randy this year, I think fans would be singing a much different tune.
Yeah. Because honestly, the story, that's what it needed to be. Randy versus Cody. It's all it needed to be. It didn't need anybody involved.
If the story told itself, bro, Randy and Cody, they don't need Pat McAfee or any fucking celebrity. No Jelly Roll. They have zero business in this thing. That does not concern them whatsoever. None.
It doesn't.
Like, Ari Emanuel's friends with these woke celebrities, but it's like, it just... I hate the fact that you have celebrities in this year's Mania. It's just overkill. Jelly Roll, Pat McAfee, Ice Show Speed. I don't even consider Logan Paul a celebrity anymore. I don't. You got Ice Show Speed. You got Jelly Roll, Pat McAfee. I may be forgetting one other celebrity, but you catch my drift.
And I know somebody's going to say, whoa, WrestleMania's always had celebrities.
Yeah, I know, since the day of WrestleMania 1 in Madison Square Garden in 1985 with Mr. T. I understand that, but back then they didn't really overkill it, oversaturate.
Here's the difference. No. Here's the difference. Those celebrities were back then were actually used to elevate the talent that were on WrestleMania itself. They were there to advance storylines. You know, Mr. T with teaming with Hogan against Piper and Orndorff.
Yes.
And Mike Tyson, he confronted Austin on the Raw after the Rumble. He called him Cold Stone, Steve Austin. That was funny.
That was going into 1998 in Boston, WrestleMania 14.
Yeah. Yeah, it made sense to involve Tyson, and Tyson was a big name at the time, and it got coverage for the WWF, and it put eyes on Steve Austin. And let them win the championship. But the focus was on Steve Austin.
Even Donald Trump at WrestleMania 23 with the Battle of the Billionaires hair versus hair match, Vince McMahon's hair versus Donald Trump's hair at WrestleMania 23 in Detroit in 2007 at Ford Field, when you had Bobby Lashley versus Umaga, with Lashley representing Trump versus Umaga representing Vince, and whoever lost, where Umaga lost, so Vince got his head shaved bald. That's what happened, and Stone Cold Steve Austin was the special guest referee. I still remember that to this day.
Yeah, like they were trying to push Lashley at the time, and Umaga was fresh off of WWE Championship feud.
Yeah,
with Cena.
Yes.
WrestleMania 1, Mr. T was there, obviously, but the focus was on Hulk Hogan. They wanted to elevate Hogan to the mainstream.
Exactly. Like, this year is just too much overkill. It just
you were pushing.
Celebrities have zero business in a big time match at WrestleMania. I mean, I wouldn't mind them in a mid card, low card feud, but I don't hate Pat McAfee. I hate the fact that he's in the main event picture for the WWE title match at WrestleMania. He should be nowhere near that, and he has zero business in that.
And he's the main fucking character.
This is the second year in a row, by the way, that a celebrity has been involved in a WWE title match. Why are we involving celebrities in WWE title match situations on the biggest show of the year? This doesn't need it. Especially this thing with Cody and Randy. The history and story tells itself. And correct me if I'm wrong. The last year, especially when Cody won the belt back from Cena a year ago, right? Then they had Randy and Cody in the finals of the King of the Ring last June, right? And they've been teasing it since then. Then Cody won the belt back from Cena at SummerSlam last year. And then Randy was looking at the title, laying eyes on it. They've been teasing it for a year. And you mean to tell me we need Pat McAfee? Why? Because you think he's the next Sylvester Stallone? He has nothing to do with Randy Orton. He has nothing to do with Cody Rhodes. Oh, well, I'm here to save wrestling from Cody. Cody is the epitome, the personification of professional wrestling you can get. What do you mean, we need to save wrestling from Cody? Oh, Cody's a terrible champion. No, he's not. He's not a terrible champion. What's terrible is you, Pat McAfee, on our television screens, wasting our time when you have no business being in a title match. I don't hate Pat McAfee. Commentary, he's great. But as a promo and in the WWE title match situation, it fucking blows, man. And there are people legit defending this, by the way. Seriously, I'm not making this up. I've seen people on X defending, oh, this is good heel heat. Oh, this is getting attention. You're all being worked, and it's getting you all riled up, and it's getting you angry and pissed off, and it's getting you talking. So this is clearly working.
Oh my god. There's a difference between heel heat and go away heat. Yeah. This is go away heat.
Go look at JC Jane from NXT. That is legit heel heat. That is booed for all the right reasons. Pat is being booed for the wrong reasons. People legit don't want to see him. Like, get Pat McAfee the fuck off my television screen. And oh, well, Pat McAfee, it's good heel heat. You bring realism. When you say the company sucks, you bring realism to TV. That's good television. No, that's burying your product, and it's a bad fucking look. Like, Pat McAfee is just, he's maybe a great commentator, but he sucks at promos on the microphone on his own when he's an in-ring segment for a promo. I'm sorry. He is terrible on the fucking mic.
And this is what makes it worse. And this is what makes it even more baffling, even more worse. This is the main event of WrestleMania. Not Backlash, not Unforgiven, even though we haven't had an Unforgiven since 2008. This isn't Fastlane. This isn't any other, B-level pay-per-view. This is the biggest show of the year. The biggest wrestling event of the year. WrestleMania. This is the match. Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton. This is the match that is headlining WrestleMania, one of the nights of WrestleMania. And you are putting the focus and the attention on the fucking celebrity.
You would think it's instead of Cody versus Randy, it's Cody versus Pat at Mania. Oh, it's Cody and Randy. No, it's Cody versus Pat, the way they've been having this. And by the way, you've seen the graphic about a week ago on SmackDown, the Cody Rhodes graphic with SmackDown, then Pat in front of Randy, making Randy feel like third wheel in this whole program. Like, remember John Cena and The Miz going into their WWE Championship match in 2011 in Atlanta at WrestleMania 27, and The Rock was involved, and he had a Rock and Cena program in 2011, and Miz was the champion, and he was third, fourth, fifth wheel in that entire program, and he was the champion.
Yeah,
like Randy Orton is like the Miz
the third
2011 in this program, and that is a fucking shame. It's fucking depressing.
Literally, that's who Randy Orton is. He's 2011 Miz. He is the third wheel. He is a non-factor in his own WrestleMania main event, and he's supposed to be the one. And he's supposed to be challenging for the title.
Yeah,
he's the one having a match, not Pat McAfee.
It's fucking.
We have
pathetic,
Cody Rhodes
bro.
going on podcasts. Cody Rhodes is on podcasts without the WWE Championship. Oh, by the way, great PR there, sending your WWE Champion without the title, doing PR
Yeah,
work.
Pat McAfee stole Cody Rhodes' title last Friday on
burying
SmackDown.
this angle.
It's so fucking bad. Yeah, and then I see Cody come
Cody
to Pat
Rhodes, the
McAfee's
WWE
podcast
Champion.
show, what, yesterday, destroy the place? Yeah, good job, Ari Emanuel. Great job there. I hope you're happy about this. Fucking idiots at TKO. Man.
Yeah, well, but before that, I was saying, Cody, the WWE champion, before he went on the Pat McAfee show, or before the show even started, he's doing media work for the company. He doesn't have the WWE championship, and he's burying the fucking angle. Basically, he is going. You're having the face of the company, the WWE champion, and he is telling the audience, he's telling the media how this main event angle is shit.
It's funny you say that. Cody Rhodes said something the other day about this Pat McAfee angle. If I can find it, he said something. I think it was yesterday. I'm trying to find the report.
He said that this is the worst angle.
There it is.
He calls it the worst angle in wrestling history.
Tell Cody Rhodes where he's telling lies, ladies and gentlemen. He's not wrong.
I don't know if I would call it the worst angle.
He's legit pissed on this. When you have the face of your company, legit Cody Rhodes, saying this angle sucks, you got a fucking problem. A big one at that, too. What does that tell you?
And this is not even the first time. And this is a year after he faced Cena in the main event. The main event was interfered by Travis Scott.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, this is a year. Cody was saying this is a year after he faced John Cena in one of the worst WrestleMania main events ever. And the main event ending saw Travis Scott taking what felt like 10 years to make his entrance. During the closing moments of the WrestleMania main event.
Fiend. Yeah, that's all you fucking hear. Carrying around
he's walking down the ramp.
Fake hardcore title.
Yeah, he's making his entrance. This match is like 20 minutes, 25 minutes. We're closing in. He's making his entrance in the closing moments of the main event of WrestleMania. And he is helping John Cena win.
And that was John Cena's last WrestleMania match, by the way. And Travis Scott fucking tainted it.
Awful.
And you would think TKO and Ari Emanuel and Endeavor learned their lesson. Apparently not.
Nope. They're doing the same angle. If anything, this is worse.
I'm trying to celebrities. I need them here. We need Tom Brady on WrestleMania. We need Stephen A. Smith on WrestleMania. Meanwhile, they have no fucking business wrestling on the goddamn show. None. If you're going to be in the show, just attending Mania, fine. But to be in a main program match, that is fucking embarrassing and a fucking joke. That's a joke.
Gonna use these celebrities.
And I hate, that's one of my biggest pet peeves. You have celebrities take a spot on the WrestleMania card from a full-time wrestler who works their ass off to get on the WrestleMania card. Like, we have time for Pat McAfee, correct? But we don't have time for Carmelo Hayes, correct? Like, you find nothing wrong with that?
We have more
zero wrong with that?
Io Sky is not on this WrestleMania card.
Yeah, one of the best wrestlers on the entire planet. One of the best wrestlers on the planet, Io Sky, who had a match of the year last year, by the way, at WrestleMania with Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair, and she's not on the card. I don't even blame Triple H for that. I blame Ari Emanuel for that shit, because all TKO thinks is dollar signs. They don't care. They don't respect Triple H. They don't respect the creative team. There's just a massive disconnect there. Seriously.
If you're going to use these celebrities.
There are people, dude, who say, oh, we want Vince McMahon back. Yeah, this is the same guy who sold WWE to Endeavor 3 years ago, sold it to his friend Ari Emanuel, because he got so fucking jealous that his son-in-law and daughter ran the company, he couldn't stand the fact that his family, his daughter and son-in-law runs the company a lot better than he ever does, and Vince couldn't fucking stand it and take it anymore, and he sold the company as a big fuck you to his daughter Stephanie and his son-in-law Paul Levesque. Vince literally sold the WWE to Endeavor 3 years ago out of jealousy and spite. Point blank.
And because he wanted to stay in power.
Yep, it was never about selling the company.
He didn't want to retire.
He wanted the power back that he lost in
the
summer of 2022 via the Wall Street Journal from the original hush money allegation scandal. And Vince negotiated with Ari when Vince still had the allegations on him, when Vince was trying to sell the company. And Ari knew these allegations, yet he brought him in anyway. And I don't feel sorry for them. They knew exactly what they were going to be dealing with. Then the Janelle Grant stuff comes out. Then Vince gets removed by Ari and TKO. And now we have the Janelle Grant case this June. It may go to trial or may go to arbitration. Hopefully it's the second. Not the second. Hopefully it's the first.
Hopefully it goes to trial.
Yeah, they may want to try to get it settled because they probably don't want this on them. But they knew exactly what they were getting when they brought Vince McMahon and when Vince sold the company. I have zero sympathy for Endeavor. Zero. I wouldn't have done the deal without Vince McMahon.
Oh my God. Yes, you could. You fucking idiot.
And you know something, even if the company was sold, which honestly, did the company need to be sold? Was it necessary? Of course not. But if the company was to be sold, fine. Comcast would have been a hell of a lot better. But you know why Vince didn't choose Comcast? Because Comcast didn't want Vince there. And Vince said to Comcast, no, I'm not selling to you guys, because they knew what Vince was trying to do. They knew exactly what Vince was trying to pull.
Comcast didn't want him. Disney didn't want him. Fox didn't want him.
Nobody wanted him.
Yeah. And let's be real, he was never going to sell it to Tony Khan.
No, there were rumors that Tony Khan was close to buying it. I don't believe that for a second.
Yeah, he was never going to buy it.
WWE and AEW. Like, this guy has AEW and Ring of Honor. Like, does this man not sleep?
He probably looked worse than Vince McMahon. Yeah, you see the Vince's face, he looks like a zombie. Tony Khan basically looked like a zombie if he had to run all three companies. But well, let's say even if Tony bought the WWE, he wouldn't have wanted Vince there. Let's be real. He would have removed him immediately. Yeah. Even then, he had no chance of buying it.
Yeah, Vince would not have sold it to him anyway. Vince probably thought, "Who the fuck is a Tony Khan, pal?"
Yeah, there's only a one Khan, and that's the Khan. He's the only Khan I know of.
Yeah,
it won't surprise me.
But the mess that WWE is in now in the past year or so. You look where they're at now. You can thank Vince McMahon for that because he sold the company as a big fuck you to Stephanie and Triple H. Vince don't care about his own family. He'd fire them like that.
He fired his son, Shane.
The 2022 Royal Rumble fiasco.
Yeah.
Remember that?
He threw his daughter under the bus, which he took a hiatus before the Wall Street Journal story came out about hush money.
And then she stepped in, and he stepped back, and then he was forced out the first time. She took over from her father. Then Vince used his voting power in the beginning of 2023. He bullied his way back in, forced his way back in, when Triple H, Stephanie, and Nick Khan unanimously voted Vince no to stay the fuck away. And then Vince used his voting power and got rid of board members like flies and replaced them with yes men like George Barrios and Michelle Wilson. Remember them, those two puppets? Yes men. Vince brought them back as yes men. Then Vince was unanimously voted to be yes to come back, and then he wanted to sell the company. And then he got back and he's forced his way back in. She got out. Stephanie quit. And then Vince sells it to Endeavor. And then you look where the company's at now.
Yeah, all because he couldn't handle it. All because the idiot couldn't keep his dick in his pants.
Yeah.
Had he actually showed respect to women and kept his dick in his pants instead of raping people
and pay them instead of ceasing to pay them, and like this man should have been fired years ago. He used company money to shut ladies up, to have them sign NDAs to keep them quiet because he was having sexual affairs with them while he was cheating on his wife. And he wouldn't give them a contract or a push, and he wouldn't pay them. So he had them sign NDAs and tried to use company money to shut them right the fuck up. Yeah, there are people that want Vince McMahon back. There are other kinds of people.
Yeah, you got idiots. Champion, we want Vince.
The product sucks right now. Yeah, it may suck right now, but it's not bad like Vince. Like it's much better with Triple H than with Vince. Triple H has his flaws, but it's a lot better with him than with Vince. But it's like to say that Triple H sucks and that Vince should be back. That's not even an opinion anymore. That is stupidity. And look, even if Triple H, like he's not going to do this forever, even if he were to like say, I can't do this anymore, there are people that could replace him.
Yeah, and the people that should not be replacing him are people like Vince McMahon and Ari Emanuel.
And Brian Gerwix and The Rock. Well, The Rock can't.
Here's the thing. If Vince McMahon was a good human being and wasn't beating up women and sex trafficking them, guess what? He would still be in the company today. If he was a good human being and not a monster.
The man tarnished his own legacy and he has no one to blame but himself. God, I hope this shit goes to trial. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, isn't there some kind of merger lawsuit against WWE and TKO? Correct me if I'm wrong. You know what
Vince McMahon will do? Do you think he'll blame himself?
No, of course not. He needs scapegoats. He needs scapegoats.
Yeah. You know what he's gonna blame his son-in-law for it. Oh, it's Triple H. He tarnished my legacy. I'm innocent.
Even the Wednesday Night Wars, right? with AEW and NXT on Wednesday nights. You know, Hunter didn't want that. Vince wanted it. And when AEW beat NXT in the Wednesday War ratings, who did Vince blame for that? Did he blame himself? Of course not. He blamed his son-in-law. And look what they did to Black and Gold in 2021. You know what I'm saying? Change it to 2.0, which was terrible. Absolutely terrible. Got rid of the old guard, but it didn't need to be changed. Oh, well, Triple H went down with a heart attack. He wasn't removed. And Shawn Michaels was in charge of end of 2021 NXT. Shawn Michaels was in charge of 2.0. No, motherfucker, he was not. He was not. Michaels was a puppet or a scapegoat or a figurehead, a puppet, rather. I like the word puppet.
Yeah, he was a puppet.
He was a puppet to Vince and Bruce.
Yeah, because they needed scapegoats.
Yep. But it's like there are people that want Vince back. Yet Vince is the same guy who sold the company to his friend. Instead of putting the company in the hands of his family, Stephanie and Triple H, people who care about the company, who want to see it succeed, want to give the fans the best product possible, and have the family be like a family legacy. Instead of Vince doing that, he sold it to his friend instead of putting it in the hands of his own family, people who genuinely care about the product and want to see it do well. This was never about selling the company. And if you think it was about selling the company, you're an idiot. It was never about selling the company. Never.
Even Triple H, you see the text messages revealed between Triple H and Nick Khan. Triple H was telling Nick Khan that if it wasn't for Nick Khan, Triple H would have been gone from WWE.
Oh, no, that's not true. Vince would have never fired his son-in-law. That's a terrible look. You think Vince McMahon gives a fuck?
No. The only person Vince McMahon cares about is Vince McMahon.
Vince would fire his son-in-law and his daughter in the snap of a finger.
The only person Vince McMahon cared about and will only ever care about is himself.
This guy fired his own son. That's all you need to know. How much of a scumbag Vince is. To fire your own son. Vince don't care about his own family. He knew his family was a big threat to take over from him, from the WWE company when Vince couldn't do it anymore. Vince knew that his own family was the biggest threat to him. He knew that. You don't think Vince knew that?
Of course he knew. Of course he knew.
And Vince knows his family runs the company better than he ever does. And Vince couldn't take it anymore. He sold the company out of jealousy and spite. Seriously. The company didn't need to be sold. You know it was good in late 2022 when he had zero Endeavor, zero TKO, and zero Vince? Endeavor clearly doesn't know wrestling and they don't know how to run a wrestling company, especially Ari Emanuel. When you have Pat McAfee involved in Cody and Randy, that's all you need to know, ladies and gentlemen. Right there. This Cody and Randy stuff doesn't need Pat McAfee. I'm literally to the point now where they do this Randy stuff coming out of Mania and they do it going into Backlash. I'm at the point, if they do that, I swear, when Cody and Randy with Pat are on my TV, I'm shutting the TV screen off. Seriously, that's how bad it is.
I feel bad for Cody and Randy.
It is god-awful television.
I just feel bad for Cody and Randy. That's two people I feel bad for most.
Yeah.
Like, this is unfair to them.
Yeah. Everybody has wanted to see this since Cody came back to the company 4 years ago. And the rich history with Cody and Randy. But no, let's add Pat McAfee in there. Because that'll sell WrestleMania tickets. You know what will sell WrestleMania tickets, Ari? Letting Triple H and his team do the creative storytelling and not put any handcuffs on Hunter and his team and let them do what they need to fucking do. And how about lower the damn ticket prices?
Exactly.
You know, seriously. It's just so fucking bad. And the big reason why this, it puts such a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. And I think it's the big reason, if not the number one sole reason, why the Mania build this year has not been that good. Better than last year's, but not that good this year. And I think you can point Pat McAfee in that situation as the reason why, if not the biggest reason why.
You know what's even sadder? Pat McAfee, Orton, and Cody. I think they're gonna continue this. We're gonna get tag team match at Backlash.
Please, God help us. God help us all if that happens. I hope that rumor is completely fake fucking bullshit news. But knowing Ari Emanuel, it would not surprise me.
We're gonna get Cody Rhodes and Jelly Roll against Randy Orton and Pat McAfee in the main event of Backlash.
Just end that shit already, bro. Seriously. Taking Pat off TV would make things a lot better off. Like, this is just so fucking bad. It's beyond bad at this point. Like, there's no defending this. Again, there are people on social media defending this. Could never be me.
These are meant.
Oh, well, this is good television. Oh, this this is good TV here. This is good heel heat, and it's getting you talking.
Yeah, it's getting us talking, all right. For the wrong reasons.
Legit excuses on social media defending this bullshit, dude.
Yeah, it's getting us talking, indeed. Yeah, talking for the wrong reasons.
Yeah. Oh, ticket sales are down. Viewership is down. Cody and Punk suck as champions. We're here. We need to save wrestling.
Yeah, saving wrestling. Yeah, saving wrestling from the guy who is of wrestling royalty, whose father is a wrestling legend.
Oh, and by the way, CM Punk buried Pat McAfee a day ago, by the way, on it was interviewed or something. This is what he said. He said something along the lines that Pat is good at what he does. He's not good at what we do. Something along those lines. If I can find it. Here we go. Pat McAfee. Here we go. Or CM Punk, as you would call him, Pat McAfee. Via all the smoke. Punk was in an interview a day ago saying, quote, Pat is great at what he does. He's not great at what we do. He's going to get checked by me. You can't run your mouth about ticket sales when you never sold one in your life. Ouch.
That's
if that's not a shoe, I don't know what the hell is.
You got even Damian Priest talking about it.
And apparently WWE is not putting handcuffs on talent talking. Like, apparently WWE is allowing the talent to talk shit about this. I'm shocked they're even allowing that.
Well, I don't blame Triple H. I bet he's pissed off too.
This was not even Triple H with his call with Pat McAfee. If it was up to him, I guarantee you. You know that Kevin Owens Instagram reel, the Cody Rhodes plush toy? If I was a betting man, if I was seriously a betting man, Triple H wanted Kevin Owens, and it was going to be Kevin Owens and not Pat McAfee as Randy Orton's mystery caller. I guarantee it. And you will never convince me otherwise. If you other people saying, oh, that was always Triple H's plan, they're fucking lying to you.
Bro, Triple H is even he's even more angry. But
yeah, I don't. Yeah, Triple H and his
KO.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame Triple H. I don't blame Triple H one bit with this situation. This is not even his idea. And if it was up to Hunter, he'd have Kevin Owens in this thing, and it would make a lot more sense. Pat has zero to do with Orton and Cody. Owens does. That's the difference. Even hell, The Rock would have made a ton more sense than Pat McAfee. Fucking terrible. I can't wait for Cody and Randy at Mania to be over, honestly. And if the tag match happens at Backlash, I can't wait for that bullshit to be over. So we can move on from the celebrity crap. And we get Cody and Randy without any celebrities. This is fucking terrible. Take a little break here from my rant here. Ranting 35 minutes in this video. Joe from Hot Takes Headlocks. What's up, Joe? He says, good morning, gentlemen. What WrestleMania match build have you enjoyed the most? I would say all Femi and Brock Lesnar, hands down. In my opinion, Joe.
Femi and Brock Lesnar.
Absolutely. If anything, why is that the main? Why is that that should be the main event of night one. That should be the main event of night one instead of Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. Their build has been much better than Cody and Randy, and Oba and Brock is not for a title. Uh-oh. I guess I just lost Adam Carl here in the chat. I am sorry, guys. I don't know what the hell happened. If it was this internet connection, but maybe on his end. Let me try and get him back here. Hold on. Sorry. Let me get this here. There we go. All right. Let me try and get him back. I don't know what the hell. Oh, there we go. Here we go.
I'm back.
Sorry about that, bro. There. Yes. Maybe Ari Emanuel was upset with what we were saying, and he decided to kick Adam Carl out for a while, put him in timeout for a while.
Yeah, he couldn't handle us calling out this his obvious bullshit.
Yeah, but yeah, as you were saying with Joe, sent a comment here in the chat. Yeah, Oba and Brock is not for a title, yet that feels more like the night one WrestleMania main event instead of Cody and Randy. And Brock and Oba's main event is opening night 2. That should really be the closing of night 1 and not Cody and Randy. Cody and Randy should honestly on this card should have been the opener match. Just how piss poor this has been booked with the inclusion of Pat McAfee. This is so fucking bad. And Pat McAfee says if Randy loses at Mania, that Pat will leave wrestling for good. I kind of hope. A sick, twisted mind of me kind of hopes Cody wins, but I think Randy should win this because you turned him heel. Yeah, you turn him heel, then you have him lose. Like, what does Randy go from here if that happens? You know what I'm saying? I think Randy should honestly win this, but I kind of want Cody to win just to get rid of this Pat McAfee bullshit. I don't know how you feel. I can't be the only one who feels that way.
I wish Cody to win. Will he win? Oh,
probably not. I doubt it. You know what? I kind of hope Randy wins, but we don't get the tag match at Backlash. But Randy wins a title at Mania. He punts Cody, and then Randy can RKO and punt Pat McAfee and Jelly Roll. That's what I'm actually hoping for. I doubt we'll get it because this is Ari Emanuel with the celebrities with a WWE title match thing at WrestleMania. So I'm might as well I know ranting for all this time for like 40 minutes into this stream, but I was gonna say might as well get started with the preview predictions, but might as well talk about the night 1 main event of WrestleMania with our preview predictions video here on today's episode of Forbidden Podcast episode 21. But Cody Rhodes, Pat McAfee, we got 7 matches on night 1, 6 on night 2. I have to say night 2 looks a lot better and stronger than night 1. Not to say that night 1 is going to be automatically bad. It can deliver, but night 2 looks a lot stronger than night 1. I don't know how you feel about that. That's how I feel about that, honestly, about this whole night 1, night 2, how they placed the night 1 and night 2 for WrestleMania. I'm sorry. But yeah, I just not to say night 1 can't deliver, but night 2 looks a lot more promising. I'm actually looking forward more to night 2 than night 1, to be completely honest with you, bro. But Cody and Randy, I'm going Orton. I think Randy should win the title.
I think he's gonna win it.
Yeah, I want Cody.
I think we're getting a new WWE
stuff. I think Randy should realistically win. Where does Randy go from here if he loses?
I don't know. I don't know where he goes from here if he loses.
Yeah. I think we both got Randy on the board here, though.
Yeah.
The other 6 matches for night 1, we got, and this is apparently the opener for night 1, a 6-man tag team match with LA Knight and the Usos, Jay and Jimmy Uso versus World Tag Team Champions, The Visions, Logan Paul and Austin Theory, and Ice Show Speed. We got a celebrity in this. I'm not a fan of that. But at least, though, I will say this. At least it's not in the main program going into Mania. I will say that. And Ice Show Speed, the last time we saw him was in the 2015 Royal Rumble, February last year in Indianapolis.
2025.
2025. Thank you. Yes.
2020.
I said that.
2025. But Ice Show Speed. When was he born? 2004? He would have been 11 in 2015.
2025. Sorry. I thought I said 2025.
You said 2050. Like, how is an 11-year-old Ice Show Speed going to be in the 2015 Royal Rumble?
Well, then again, would Vince have booked that?
It wouldn't surprise me if he did. He's a fucking perverted pedophile.
Yeah.
He's a creepy old maniac.
Yeah, but 2025 Royal Rumble. February last year in Indianapolis. Ice Show Speed was in that Royal Rumble last year. And he did a backflip, and then Braun Breaker broke him legit in half with a spear. So Ice Show Speed did perform well in last year's Royal Rumble. I will give him that. Now he's wrestling at WrestleMania. The good performance he had in the Rumble last year, I mean, I expect no different. I don't like celebrities taking up spots from full-time performers on the Mania card. That's one of my biggest pet peeves. But I will say this. Again, at least he's not in the WWE title match or any big program going into Mania. So I will give credit on that. And he did perform good in the Rumble.
He's actually been entertaining.
Yeah. So I mean, I expect him to do well here. He should be fine here, but I expect him to eat the pin though.
Here's the difference with it. Part that makes it different with Pat McAfee. At least this feud is actually used to elevate the talent.
Yeah.
And celebrity here is used to elevate the talent on the roster. Like LA Knight.
Should be used for, not Pat McAfee. That's just burying the company and the talent involved with him.
Yeah.
And at least Ice Show Speed cares about the business. So this should be now that this is opening night 1, this should be a hot opener with LA Knight over Usos, and then you got Logan Paul with the Heat, Ice Show Speed, Austin Theory. This should be good. I'm going with Usos and LA Knight, and I expect LA Knight to pin Ice Show Speed to win this match. I don't know what you got here.
I think I got the same prediction as well. I mean, they had Ice Show Speed, costing LA Knight matches on Raw.
Yeah.
I think he hit him with the brass knuckles.
Yeah.
I mean, this should lead to LA Knight finally getting his revenge,
and hopefully end this feud with the Vision of LA Knight.
Yeah, moving on to something better.
So
why don't we move to the world title picture?
So yeah, I got the Usos LA Knight.
Yeah, I got them too. I got Usos and LA Knight.
Yeah, you mentioned something that this should have been the world title program, or at least a fatal. Drew McIntyre, Jacob Fatu. Their unsanctioned match at WrestleMania. Call me nuts. I have been enjoying their build better than Cody and Randy's build. I know that's not saying much, but this should have been the the WWE title match. Drew going into Mania and Fatu challenging Drew for the WWE title at WrestleMania on night 1. Or this should have been the fatal 4-way, Drew, Jacob, Cody, Randy for the title in the main event of night 1. One of those two things should have been. I mean, I know people were clamoring for the fatal 4-way, but we got Cody and Randy one-on-one for the title instead. Looking how badly Cody and Randy's been booked the past few weeks with Pat McAfee, this should have been a fatal 4-way for the title at Mania, or Jacob versus Drew for the title at Mania. And Jacob and Drew, their build has been a lot better than Cody's and Randy's. That's not saying much, but it's true. And it feels like Drew and Jacob want to legit kill each other. Like, why is this not the title match at WrestleMania? Like, why is Drew McIntyre not the one going into WrestleMania as the WWE champion? Just based on what we're getting with Cody and Randy with Pat McAfee the past couple weeks on SmackDown.
Beats bait.
Like, Jacob and Drew has actually not been bad at all.
And the feud of that has been pretty good. It's been very intense.
Yeah. And it's an unsanctioned match. I think I'm going Jacob Fatu. I think Drew McIntyre's expected to film Highlander coming out of WrestleMania. Correct me if I'm wrong. Or is that change? He's not going to miss much TV time.
I mean, I think he's been filming lately. You know, he's been going back and forth between the United States and Scotland.
Yeah.
I believe. Yeah, so he doesn't have to miss an episode of SmackDown. So I'm going with Jacob, though.
Yeah, I'm going to sing Jacob Fatu. I hope to God we don't get the tag match at Backlash. I hope to God, and I hope that rumors are completely false. We get Randy winning the title. But we get Randy versus Jacob for the title at Backlash. That sounds a lot better than the tag team match at Backlash. Just being honest here. It'll be something fresh. Randy versus Jacob. So I think we both got Jacob Fatu on the board.
We haven't gotten the resolution. We still haven't gotten the resolution on who attacked the Jacob Fatu backstage.
Yes, that too, yeah. They still haven't answered that question yet. Who attacked Jacob Fatu, though? Could you imagine they have Pat McAfee be the one? I ordered Randy to attack Fatu. Imagine, I hope to God they don't do this, but I think Randy's the one that attacked Fatu anyway, but please keep Pat McAfee far the fuck away from this, but like...
It's already Emmanuel. It's TKO. Of course they're gonna.
The day they take Pat McAfee off TV is things will be so much better off. Like, get him off my television. It's been that fucking deplorably worse since he's been on television. Awful. One match outside of Oba and Brock, I mentioned here to Joe on the live stream, Oba and Brock, what WrestleMania match build have you enjoyed the most? Oba and Brock. If there was another one I had to pick outside of Oba and Brock, it would be Liv Morgan and Stephanie Vetcare. Man, they have gotten physical the last couple weeks. And their build for the Women's World title has been much better than the build with Jade Cargill and Rhea Ripley going into WrestleMania. No fucking shit on that there. And that's not saying much, but I mean, tell me when I'm telling lies. Liv Morgan, Stephanie Vetcare is actually, they've gotten physical. Liv Morgan's brought up Stephanie Vetcare's mother, calling her trash. And they've gotten physical, like really physical. I think Stephanie gave Liv a big goosebump on her forehead. Liv was like a psycho on Monday. Like, Liv and Stephanie were trying to legit trying to beat the shit out of each other. And you saw Liv Morgan Monday on Raw look like a fucking psychopath out there. You got Kathy Kelly get knocked down, physically involved. And I've been liking, and then you got Roxanne Perez back in the photo as well. I've been liking what Liv and Stephanie have been doing the past couple weeks, at least, on Raw. At first, I was like, there's no story, there's zero heat, but they've really amped it up a bit the past couple weeks, and I got to give them credit. I have to give Triple H and his team in WWE some credit, and I got to give her credits too. They've at least done a decent job past couple weeks, at least, with Stephanie Vetcare and Liv Morgan going into the WrestleMania Women's World title match. I'm not sure how you feel, but that's how I genuinely feel about this entire Stephanie and Liv build going into WrestleMania.
I think it's been a fantastic build-up. I mean, both women have stepped up their game big time, especially on this road to WrestleMania, to make their match feel like a main event worthy match.
Yes.
Honestly, if anything, if I'm being honest, I would prefer this as the night one main event instead of Randy Orton Cody.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm being real.
Physicality. It's like this is what WrestleMania is all about. You got two opponents, and they just want to beat the shit out of each other, want to try and destroy each other. Hell, look at Gable Americano versus Kaiser Americano. There was something on with AAA this past weekend, April 11th. They were legit. You saw it on YouTube. People see it on YouTube. They were trying to fucking kill each other. This is what Randy and Cody should be. Seriously.
Literally, this is what the story of should be. The two opponents fighting at WrestleMania, and the one thing they want is to be the champion, the top champion in the company. Yeah,
like, I'm the best. I want to be the champion because I'm the best. That's what. And Like, that's what WrestleMania builds are all about. Oh, I'm better than you. I'm the best. I should be the champion. Like, that's what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen, here, folks.
Yeah, you make the championship feel important.
Yes. Like, it feel like a big deal. Like, make it feel like, I want that title. You have a title, and I want it. You have something on your shoulders, and it's mine. Like, that's what it should be. That makes the title feel important, and it brings prestige to the title. It makes the title feel like a big deal. And it makes it feel like it matters. Has Cody and Randy mattered in the past couple weeks? No. The women's world title is the women's world title situation going to Mania is like the complete opposite. It's like night and day. Like, how embarrassing is it that your women's world title match for the WrestleMania build has been the much better Mania build than the WWE title match on SmackDown? How embarrassing is that? Like, just listen to how embarrassing that sounds, bro.
It's so serious.
Seriously. I've been liking what I've been liking what Liv Morgan's been doing and what Stephanie Vetcair's been doing the past couple weeks on Raw. And Liv Morgan brought up Stephanie Vetcair's mother, calling her trash or puta, or calling Stephanie Vetcair's mother trash. I mean, Liv Morgan's from New Jersey, but I like the fact in bringing up personalness into a story going into Mania. That also makes a match to a Mania build that much better. You know, that story. That's what makes things matter. When you bring up personal, that's what we want. Like, you want intensity going into a WrestleMania build. That's what you want. You know, you want the intensity, the emotion. Like you genuinely care. Like, you feel like, yeah, I can see these two legit hate each other in real life and they want to fucking destroy each other to no end. You know, it's like, just like, there's no intensity to Cody and Randy. None. Like, there's no emotion, just no intensity. Like, this is their biggest show of the year. You know?
Exactly.
I don't know how you feel, though. I'm hearing stories of Liv Morgan getting a new Def Rebel song, Trouble. I don't know if you listened to it.
Video.
What?
Yeah, I listened to it.
Not that good, huh?
Yeah, I like Liv Morgan, but the singing is not her strength.
No, not at all.
There's a lot of things she's good at, but singing is not one of them.
True. But, excuse me. I will say this, though, and I want to bring up something about Stephanie Vetcair real quick as well. She was interviewed, I think, by the other day by Chris Van Vliet. Stephanie Vetcair mentioned her Chris Egert theme song, Bury Me. That was her theme song before her current theme song, which is terrible, by the way. She mentioned something that, like, she had to change her felt like she had to change her music or whatnot. And then she brought up what would be a dream come true, coming out to Megadeth. Now, Megadeth is actually a very good heavy metal band. I'd love that. I think they're on tour, off tour soon or whatnot, Megadeth. Hold on. If I can find the report. Here we go. Hold on, just looking up the port. Oh, Head Crusher by Megadeth. It was 2 days ago. Stephanie Vetcair mentioned that she would love to use Megadeth's Head Crusher as her theme song. I think that would be fucking epic. That would be great, dude. I don't know if they're on tour, off tour soon, but I would buy the rights to that song. Like, get that as Stephanie Vetcair's theme music, man, because the one she has now is fucking terrible. It's generic as fuck, and it's god awful. A lot of these Def Rebel music songs in WWE are god awful. So I'm sure you probably would feel the same way. Head Crusher by Megadeth, that's Stephanie Vetcair's maybe new theme song. I'd personally love that. it'd be a lot better than what she has right now.
It would actually make her recognizable.
And there's identity.
Once those first few seconds, once those first few seconds of those theme hit, you know exactly who comes out.
And I listened to it very recently. It's very good. I listened to it the other day, and I have to say, man, not a bad song at all. I'm like, yes, this would be perfect for Stephanie Vetcare. I don't know if WWE can buy the rights or if Ari doesn't want to spend money or he's too much of a cheapskate, but please buy the rights to this song. Seriously. It'd be a lot better off for Stephanie Vetcare, who just feels so ice cold at the moment. And I don't think she was supposed to, like, her women's world title reign hasn't been that good, but I think a reason for it, she won it at WrestlePalooza last September, beating Io Sky, right? For the vacant title, correct? Who was the champion before that? Naomi, but she got pregnant. I don't think Stephanie was supposed to be world champion to begin with. I think, I honestly think you can, I mean, hear me out. And call me crazy. It's just my conspiracy theory. I'll take my conspiracy theory hat on and off or whatnot. Take my conspiracy theory cap here. But when Naomi was women's world champion coming like during the summer last year, and then she got pregnant, I honestly think if Naomi was not pregnant, I feel like Naomi would have been world champion on Raw, the women's world champ on Raw, until at least the end of 2025, where she loses it to Rhea Ripley, and then Stephanie Vetcare wins the Rumble in Saudi this past January, and we get Rhea Ripley versus Stephanie Vetcare at WrestleMania for the Women's World Championship. I think that was one of Triple H's original plans for WrestleMania 42. I don't think you'd convince me otherwise. I don't know how you feel. That's my conspiracy take on that. And if Bianca Belair was to make WrestleMania this year in time, it would have been Jade and Bianca and Stephanie and Rhea. I don't know what you feel on that, but that's my take on that.
I don't think it's a conspiracy there. I don't think you're wrong up there.
I don't know if a lot of people really.
I don't think it's a conspiracy. I can see something like that.
I thought I'd just say it. So.
Now, I don't think it's a conspiracy. I think it's very plausible that this was the plan because she won Money in the Bank. They did. She won Money in the Bank. She won the women's title at level 11. Then she beat Rhea and Io in a triple threat at SummerSlam. She was having a great run as a heel. Yeah. And obviously, Stephanie, she became number one in Evolution. She won the Battle Royal. And she was supposed to wrestle Naomi at Clash in Paris, I believe.
Yes.
Clash in Paris match, Stephanie versus Naomi. And then obviously, for obvious reasons, that was canceled. And Stephanie didn't get to compete on the card. She had to wait another month for a title match. Honestly, had Naomi been there, not gotten pregnant, I think she would have went into this year's Mania as the champion. I can actually believe it. Honestly, if the match with Stephanie happens as planned, I think Naomi would have beaten Stephanie. She beats her by cheating. And then Stephanie would have to chase Naomi through the rest of the... It would have been the one to win the... Maybe look Stephanie versus Naomi at WrestleMania.
Sorry, guys, if Adam Carl's internet connection is being like blurry, cut off. So we apologize for that. But I'm sure some of you guys would know what Adam Carl is saying. Like Naomi and Stephanie Vetcare Clash in Paris. Naomi would have absolutely won because she had just won the title at that point. She'd cheat to win because she's a heel. We probably would have got Naomi and Io Sky at WrestlePalooza. Maybe Naomi and Stephanie part 2 at Crown Jewel in Perth. And then Naomi and Rhea at the end of the year. Whether Naomi would have dropped the title to Rhea at the end of the year or whatnot.
The Crown Jewel. I think the Crown Jewel was Naomi. If Naomi was there, it would have been Tiffany, not Naomi and Stephanie.
Oh, yes.
Did you mention Tiffany?
No, I didn't mention Tiffany.
Because we had the Crown Jewel titles.
Oh, yeah. Those titles that mean nothing.
Yeah, 2 championships that are basically the size of a trophy. I don't know how any wrestler was able to
I
carry
cover the
these
whole
things.
waist of these wrestlers, dude. Can't even see their waist.
Yeah.
That's how big these crown jewel titles are. But yeah, you catch my drift. That and then Naomi and probably Naomi Stephanie at Survivor Series War Games. Then Naomi and Rhea probably the end of the year, or maybe going into like the Royal Rumble, or going into the Royal Rumble, or at the Rumble itself, or whatnot, the Chamber, whatever, what have you. And Stephanie Vaquerum, instead of Liv Morgan, probably would have won the Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia. We probably would have got Stephanie versus Naomi Part 3 or whatnot, or Stephanie versus Rhea for the Women's World title at WrestleMania instead of what we're getting now. So I think injuries, and that's the other. The Mania build, the Mania build this year, I will say not good, but definitely better than last year's. But I also think injuries, I mean, Naomi being pregnant, but a big thing, another big factor, the other thing, injuries really hindered a lot. I think a good chunk of Triple H's plans of what he originally wanted to do for WrestleMania this year, and I feel. You know, Seth Rollins' injury.
Obviously, the biggest one was Seth Rollins.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Obviously, the biggest one, obviously, was Seth Rollins. You know, he recklessly did that coast-to-coast headbutt.
That flying Benoit
he injured himself.
Coast to coast. I don't know. That was a stupid move, dude. Like, why he even did that? That was fucking dumb.
I still don't get why he did it. Yeah, I still don't understand why he did it. Then obviously injuries to Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, you know, Naomi obviously being pregnant, Bianca Belair injured.
Yep.
Something to be changed about this WrestleMania card because of so many injuries and outside circumstances.
Yeah. Imagine if Seth Rollins did not get injured, dude. We would have got Seth versus Roman for the world title and Punk versus Cody WWE title. And had Seth not got injured and we would have got the original Triple H WrestleMania 42 plans, I think the build probably would have been a lot better off, and the card would have been a lot better off. Not to say that it's, though the card with despite injuries, I mean, just as good, but I think the original plans would have been a lot stronger if not for the injuries. Just my two.
Probably would have gotten a much better card, if anything.
Yeah, and it probably would have helped the product as well. Because imagine Punk and Cody at Mania, that's the biggest match you can do at WrestleMania. Seth and Roman, it makes sense, especially coming out of last year's Mania where Heyman turned on Roman with Seth. Seth and Roman, it just logic-wise, it makes sense. And it's long-term booking coming out of last year's Mania. You know? And like I said, Punk and Cody, self-explanatory, biggest match you can do. Your two top guys in the entire company as a whole. You know? Very self-explanatory. But I think despite the injuries, the card this year, definitely not bad at all. Much better card on paper compared to last year's. Build not good this year, but definitely better than last year's. But I just think like some of the matches we were really robbed of because of injuries, dude, and it sucks.
Yeah. In terms of the prediction, they had
to work with what they were given. They had to try to make the best of what they were given.
They definitely have to. Yeah, but with Stephanie and Liv, I'm going with Liv Morgan.
Yeah.
I think she wins the
women's hasn't really done anything with the championship, dude.
Like who has she feuded with? Nikki Bella?
Oh, jeez, yeah.
What an awesome feud that was.
Oh, Nikki Bella, I'm a Hall of Famer. Everybody should be cleaning my shoes, like all that fucking nonsense garbage. And Nikki Bella fought her several times, lost clean every time to Stephanie Vaquerum. And then Nikki Bella, by the way, bro, turns face quickly, and that's like as if Stephanie versus Nikki never happened. Remember? With the Bellas? And it's supposedly they're getting a title match on WrestleMania Night 1 Saturday, but now Nikki Bella has a walking boot, injured ankle. Now the Bellas may not be good to go for Mania. Yeah. Maybe adding the Bellas was a bad idea. And they have 2-year contracts, by the way. Waste of money, in my opinion. And they're injury prone. Like, wrestling has seriously passed the Bella Twins by, and nobody wants to see them on TV. Like, the 5'10" Bella Twin fans who want to fucking see them. Nobody asked for the Bellas on TV, dude. Nobody. But Liv Morgan, Stephanie Vetcare. Stephanie Vetcare's reign has not been that eventful at all. And she wasn't really, I don't think she was supposed to win the title last September at all. Again, with the Naomi situation, like I mentioned. But I'm going Liv Morgan as well. And I think there's a lot more potential with storylines and storytelling you can do with Liv Morgan as champion than with Stephanie Vetcare as champion. Plus, remember the Royal Rumble where Liv Morgan eliminated Raquel Rodriguez? There's a story to tell there. You have Liv win the title. You have possibly Liv versus Raquel for the title coming out of Mania. You get Roxanne Perez involved too. I like the sound of that. I think I'm going Liv Morgan.
Yeah, I'm going with Liv Morgan too. I think Stephanie will get another reign as world champion. They just put it on her probably way too soon, but honestly, looking at who their options were, I mean, yeah, obviously you could say too soon. I say they probably put on her way quickly, but seeing all the other options at the time, who are they going to put the title on? Like,
there was no
Rhea and Io were feuding with the Kabuki Warriors. Bailey and Lyra are having. I mean, Bailey and Lyra are teaming. And does anybody really want to see Nikki Bella as a women's world champion in 2025? 2026?
Not me.
Yeah. Roxanne Perez just got called up. They weren't going to be champions. Roxanne will be a women's world champion one day, but not now. She wasn't going to be, and especially not immediately after getting called up.
What if Liv Morgan wins the title, which I think she does? Money in the Bank, weirdly, is this September after SummerSlam in New Orleans, right? Early September, New Orleans, Money in the Bank this early September. What if, and I'm actually making an early bold prediction for Roxanne Perez to win this year's Money in the Bank. Liv Morgan as women's world champion coming out of Mania. Roxanne Perez wins the Money in the Bank briefcase for the women this year after SummerSlam. And there's a story there where maybe Roxanne and Raquel can turn on Liv and Roxanne cashes in Money in the Bank on Liv. I think that would be great. And there's a story there because, again, Liv eliminated Raquel in the Rumble. And you have Roxanne involved in this thing with the tensions in the Judgment Day as well. I actually like that idea. I don't know how you think of. I don't know what you think of that idea. I actually like that.
Yeah, that would be a good idea. That would bring the freshness and make the Judgment Day storyline interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, but considering the time period, to go back, all their other options, like Stephanie was like the only other option to put the women's world title on. And obviously, I think it's probably why, her title reign has been, kind of underwhelming because they didn't know what to do and she wasn't meant to be the champion. I think she will get another reign. It's not that this is not going to be her last reign as world champion. Absolutely not. I think she'll get another reign. And hopefully it's much better, but this first one, this wasn't originally planned.
I think they put on Stephanie way too early.
I'm going with Liv Morgan. I do expect Stephanie though to remain in the title scene. I do expect her to still remain in the title picture. Yeah. Who knows? Maybe Stephanie is in Money in the Bank. You never know. We say Roxanne Perez in Money in the Bank. Who's to say Stephanie in the Bank?
We could see Stephanie Vetcare in the Money in the Bank this year with Roxanne and maybe an old foe and frenemy of Stephanie Vetcare, Julia. Who knows? Yeah. We could see that in New Orleans, but we'll see. But I'm going Liv Morgan to win the women's world title. I think that's the right move. And there's a lot more you can do with Liv as champ than with Stephanie as champion at this time. So I think we both got Liv Morgan on the board, I believe. Yeah. So I'm going Liv Morgan is the new women's world champ. I'm sure this guy is too. Yeah.
Yeah.
The next match, AJ Lee, Becky Lynch, women's IC title. Becky Lynch, I'm going with to win back the championship. I don't see AJ Lee sticking around much after Mania.
It's self-explanatory.
Yeah.
Becky
It
Lynch
should be good though. Their match of the Chamber wasn't not that bad. I'm expecting this to be good at Mania. The last 1 or 2 weeks, like coming, I have to be honest with you guys. The Becky Lynch AJ Lee build going into Elimination Chamber was dog shit. Their build to Mania, where was this with their build to the Chamber? Their past about couple weeks of build with their match at Mania has actually not been too bad. I think when AJ Lee mentioned that she gave Becky a challenge for the IC title at WrestleMania, where AJ Lee brought up that I'm gonna show you that I'm everyone's favorite wrestler's favorite wrestler, and Becky, I'm your daughter's favorite wrestler, and Becky Lynch was pissed. Then she mentioned again in a sit-down interview with Michael Cole, and Becky told Michael Cole to go away. And then Becky Lynch brought up AJ Lee. The last time you were at Mania, at WrestleMania 11 years ago, 2015. After that, you quit. And then AJ Lee said to Becky again that I'm your daughter's favorite wrestler, and Becky was pissed again. Honestly, this build with Becky and AJ going to Mania should have been the build to the Chamber, if I'm being quite honest.
Yeah.
Swing Becky. That was terrible going into their build for the Elimination Chamber.
What grown person says
in real
this to
life,
another
bro?
grown person?
Swing. Like, is that how I would talk to you in real life in a conversation out in public, bro?
Or in a fight?
Yeah. That's just stupid. I hated that.
You have a grown woman.
That was so fucking dumb, bro.
Have a grown woman telling another grown woman to hit her in the most goofy way possible.
That was so fucking terrible, bro. It was so bad. Their build to Mania has their dialogue going into their Mania build has been leagues better than their Swing Becky dialogue going into Elimination Chamber. That's not saying much, but I mean, I know I'm not wrong here. What do you think about this? I think I go Becky Lynch, and she should. I think Becky wins it, and Becky's going to be there full time. AJ Lee, I don't see sticking around until around SummerSlam time in Minneapolis this August. I think Becky wins the title back. And then we have Becky build that title up some more or whatnot, and then Becky drops the title to somebody else. I would say at the very least at like SummerSlam. Who knows? Maybe we get Becky and Stephanie. Becky Lynch, Stephanie Becker for the IC title at SummerSlam. Who knows?
Well, maybe.
You could probably do that. I would not mind that.
Yeah, I think
What happened?
Becky wins back. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I go Becky Lynch.
In a row to AJ. She already lost so many times to her. I think this time she gets the win.
Yeah, every time Becky's fought AJ, WrestlePalooza, War Games, and then the Chamber, AJ's always beaten Becky. Becky's never beaten AJ. I think this is where Becky Lynch finally beats AJ Lee, and she should. So I'm going Becky Lynch to win the IC title back.
Yeah.
Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match for the women's tag team titles. Actually, before we get into this, Mitch Kofsky. Good morning, guys. Good morning, Mitch. How are you? Hope you're doing well. Happy WrestleMania week. John C. Y6J says, hello. Darby Allin, new champion. Oh, we're going to talk about that. Believe us, bro. We're going to talk about that because I got a lot to say on that. And not good. I got a rant incoming. So just let you know. But back to the WrestleMania predictions. Fatal 4-Way match for the women's tag titles. The Irresistible Forces, Nia Jackson, Lash Legend, versus Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss versus Bailey and Lyra Valkyria versus the Bella Twins, Nikki and Brie Bella, if they're good to go. If they're not good to go, apparently Kabuki Warriors could replace them, or if they are to be replaced, if they're not good to go for Saturday and 2 nights, a nice other substitute. I think this should be the substitute if you keep it a fatal 4-way at Mania night 1. The Bellas are not good to go. Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez, then it would make sense. But with this women's tag title match situation at Mania, this should have honestly been Bailey and Lyra versus Charlotte and Bliss for the women's tag titles 2-on-2 instead of this fatal 4-way. Who asked for Nia Jackson, Lash Legend on the card? And I don't think this Irresistible Force is helping Lash Legend at all. I feel like Nia is just dragging Lash down, in my opinion. And the Bella Twins, again, nobody asked for them on TV. Nobody. And I'm going Bailey and Lyra to win this match, and they should win the titles. So I'm going Bailey and Lyra Valkyria, especially, and it makes sense for them to win because Bailey was attacked by Becky off the WrestleMania card last year, and Bailey and Lyra was supposed to challenge for the tag titles last year. It'll be a year in the making, and I think it'll be a feel-good moment for Bailey and Lyra if they win the titles here. So I don't know who you go with. I'm going with Lyra Valkyria and Bailey winning and becoming your new women's tag team champions. I think that's the right move.
I'm going with Lyra too. It makes the most sense. And they've been telling the story for months now. You know, Bailey and Lyra wanting a title shot. They're going to Adam Pearce's office. They want a title shot. And obviously they were supposed to challenge last year before Becky attacked Bailey and took her place at Mania. So it makes the most amount of sense. You know, booking wise, it's for the storyline wise as well. Like you've been building it for a year now. So it has to be Bailey and Lyra winning.
Yeah. There are some people, by the way, there are some idiots on social media that think the Bellas should win because they're trying to write the final chapter of their career, and the Bellas have trying to, they have won that one final run, and they want the women's tag titles. Don't listen to these people. These irresistible forces, it's not working out. I'm sure you probably feel the same way. I'm not a fan of it at all. I'm sorry, I'm not. And the women's tag titles coming out of the chamber have been the worst thing on television lately as well, by the way. If anything, this should have been Charlotte and Bliss versus Bayley.
Charlotte and Flair.
Yeah, sorry. I meant to say
Charlotte and Ric Flair. Charlotte and Ric Flair. Who the fuck wants to see 77-year-old Ric Flair stumbling around the ring in a match at WrestleMania? Who wants to see Ric Flair in a match in general? Probably Ric Flair himself.
The same guy who says that WWE is tarnishing his legacy.
Ric Flair has done a phenomenal job at doing that.
Yeah, I know people are doing Ric Flair. Yeah, I know, guys. So,
yeah.
But yeah, Charlotte and Bliss versus Bayley and Lyra. This should have been the women's tag title match at WrestleMania 2-on-2. And call me crazy. You have my permission to call me crazy. I am not the biggest Charlotte Flair fan at all. Not the biggest fan of her at all. And been one of the biggest Charlotte Flair hater for years because her being the queen and shoved down their throats. That hasn't been like that lately anymore, and I'm kind of starting to warm up to Charlotte Flair slowly but surely. Like, I feel like Jade Cargill, the current women's champion on SmackDown, has pretty much taken that throne as the Queen Charlotte Flair that is just over-pushed, shoved down our throats, and just burying talent and just been that bad. I feel like Charlotte lately has been very genuine and hasn't been like that much anymore lately. And the pairing with Alexa Bliss has truly been a big factor in that. Sure, you probably feel the same way, but I can't be the only one who feels that way. And you can call me crazy if for me feeling that way.
Honestly, yeah, you're not crazy when you say this. Honestly, I think this pair with Alexa Bliss has actually gotten Charlotte Flair over.
Yeah.
Charlotte Flair she got more over here as a babyface than she ever did under Vince McMahon.
Yeah, facts.
That's insane this day because Vince tried for how many years to get this woman over and nobody accepted her.
Not a single soul.
Yeah.
And Charlotte and Bliss.
And they actually gave Charlotte a character. Better yet, they actually let her be genuine instead of being robotic.
And
saying,
let her be
I am
her.
the queen. I am the best. I am the line. All this
letting her be herself. And I feel
Yeah,
like Alexa and Charlotte are genuine best friends in real life. Genuine friends in real life.
Yeah. Yeah. Instead of this robotic, I am the queen. I am the line. I always get a title shot. Even when she loses clean.
I am the opportunity.
My God. Yeah. All this garbage.
Bow down to the queen.
Yeah. All that garbage.
Just nauseating garbage.
Yeah, if anything, this is the best run that Charlotte has ever had, especially as a character.
Yeah. I've been warming up to Charlotte lately, and she actually had a good match with Lyra Valkyria this past Monday on Raw. I heard she had a good match with Lyra Valkyria, and get this, Charlotte put Lyra over clean. Oh, but Charlotte Flair buries talent. Watch Raw this past Monday. She put Lyra over clean as a whistle. Clean.
She put over Kiana James in the Elimination Chamber qualifying match.
Yeah, clean as a whistle there too.
Where she took the loss.
Yeah. When she didn't have to. When Charlotte Flair honestly didn't have to, but she chose to. Jade Cargill has officially taken the crown of she's basically the new Charlotte. She's basically the new Queen Charlotte Flair for the wrong reasons. Like how Charlotte was the queen shoved down their throats, Jade Cargill is now officially taken that crown. Sadly. Point blank. But this women's tag title match, Bayley and Lyra winning makes all the sense in the world. The Bella Twins winning is not a good move. Nia Jax and Lash Legend has not been working out. Charlotte and Alexa, I don't think they win, and I think they break up coming out of WrestleMania. They could very well one of them eat the pin here. If I'm being honest.
I think this is going to be their next storyline for the women out of WrestleMania for SmackDown. It's going to be Charlotte versus Alexa Bliss.
Yeah.
Who turns heel, though?
I say Alexa. Alexa. I think Alexa. I would say if I had to choose which one works better as the heel, I think it's Alexa Bliss. I think it's Alexa Bliss, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Just how over Charlotte's been organically as a babyface lately, I think it's the right move for Bliss to turn heel and not Charlotte. And I think we could possibly get Bliss versus Flair going into SummerSlam.
Yeah, I agree.
So I'm going Valkyria and Bayley to win the tag titles here. It just makes sense.
Yeah, it's the right move to make.
So,
really.
We got then the other match. We mentioned Cody and Randy. We talked about that enough times. We gave a prediction early here in the stream. Then the last match. It's the second to last match before the main event of night one. Seth Rollins versus Gunther. Originally, this made no sense because they had no interactions till a couple weeks ago on Raw in Madison Square Garden. And the original plan was Seth versus Roman, then Seth versus Breakker, then Braun Breaker went down with the hernia injury. And then Gunther was supposed to get Rey Mysterio. Then Rey Mysterio's not making it in time for Mania, though the last minute he did. So now Rey Mysterio's in the IC title 6-man ladder match for night 2 WrestleMania. We'll talk about that. It was going to be Gunther then versus Rey Mysterio and Seth versus Breakker. But then they chose Gunther and Seth. Originally made no sense because, it would be a good match. Because and there's no doubt in my mind it's going to be a great match because Gunther never has bad matches. And Gunther and Seth is a fresh match. I think they fought when Gunther was Walter, when he was NXT UK champion. It was an episode of Raw in the beginning of November 2019. I think they were in the UK tour. I think Seth Rollins fought Gunther when he was Walter for the NXT UK title on that Raw episode. Correct me if I'm wrong. Going into that year's Survivor Series.
Yeah, he was Gunther. He was the NXT UK champion.
He was Walter. This was during
Yeah, this was during the SmackDown versus NXT versus
Raw,
Raw
Survivor
when
Series.
NXT invaded when NXT invaded the main roster.
Yes. Yeah.
Obviously you had Volter versus Rollins. You had Adam Cole versus Daniel Bryan.
Yes, that November 1st, 2019 Friday Night SmackDown, one of the best SmackDowns ever, where NXT invaded SmackDown. Remember that SmackDown episode where everyone was like, majority SmackDown people were still stuck in Saudi, but you had Daniel Bryan on SmackDown wrestle Adam Cole in the main event of SmackDown for the NXT title. You had Keith Lee and Matt Riddle destroy Sami Zayn. Tommaso Ciampa interrupting and beating The Miz. I think you had Bianca Belair on there, Rhea Ripley, Tegan Nox, and Shayna Baszler, NXT Women's Champ at the time as well.
Yeah. I think the Undisputed Era worked a match on SmackDown against the New Day.
Yes.
It was Cole, Roddy, O'Reilly, and Fish against, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, it was Kofi Kingston, Big E, and Heavy Machinery.
Yes, I think that's correct. Yeah, and that was actually a fun match.
Yeah,
that was great.
Yeah, this was that period that we also obviously had Walter versus Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even that the match went 5 minutes and it ended in disqualification.
Yeah, that was not good.
Yeah, and then obviously we saw what happened Survivor Series when Vince McMahon booked Walter to get eliminated in 2 minutes.
That was fucking garbage, man. Utter garbage. In like 3 minutes, less than that. Eats a Claymore.
That's how Vince McMahon immediately thought of Walter. That's Gunther. Then again, this is the same Vince McMahon who also wanted to fire Gunther because he did like a comedy segment that he had with R-Truth, even though Gunther was the Intercontinental Champion.
It was the Raw 4th of July 2022 where R-Truth was dressed as like this Sam thing, like this Patriot thing, like Mr. America, something like that. R-Truth comedy thing. And Gunther was from SmackDown Intercontinental Champion on Raw. Why? You know?
I don't know why.
Because Vince says, fuck you, that's why.
Yeah, he books Gunther in that segment, and he didn't like the segment, and he wanted to fire Gunther.
Well, he wanted to take the IC title off him and send him back down to NXT, then release him. For no reason.
Yeah, why? You're the one who booked the fucking segment, Vince.
But Vince doesn't blame himself. He was about to use Gunther as a scapegoat. Well, you Vince were the one that booked the fucking segment in the first place.
Yeah, he booked the segment with a guy who wasn't even on the Raw brand on 4th of July of all dates on the 4th of July.
Oh, but it's the anti-American gimmick versus the American gimmick. That shit has been overplayed time after time.
Yeah.
On WWE television. Oh, but it's a good heat magnet. It's overdone, and Vince used and abused it so fucking much, dude. So much. Like, he overdid it to the point where it's like no one gave two shits about it. Like, it's just been overdone. Big time. And yet there are some idiots that want Vince McMahon back. Could not be me. Could never be me. It's like, oh, we want Vince. Be careful what you wish for. Be careful what you wish for.
Exactly.
But Gunther, Seth Rollins, I mean, no doubt a great match like to be, because Gunther never has bad matches, but originally there was no story. It's a fresh match, but there was no story. But then a week ago, Gunther gave a decent enough explanation of why, which I actually appreciate.
Yeah, I'm the best. He hates Seth Rollins because Seth Rollins thinks he's the best. Seth Rollins believes he's the best in the world. Gunther, he wants to prove that he wants to expose Seth Rollins for being a fraud.
Says Seth Rollins, you think you're good, but you're not, but I'm good, Seth, not you. I'm the best. Like, that's what it's about. I'm the best. I'm better than you. That sells a build for especially WrestleMania. That works.
And it's simple.
It's simple.
A simple story.
Yeah, it's simple yet effective.
Yeah, but it's an easy story to tell. Gunther is, he's one of the best. One of the best in the world. Same thing with Seth Rollins.
They say it's the little things that matter the most.
Yeah.
And if you pay attention to backstage after Gunther attacked Seth and Gunther went backstage with Paul Heyman, he says, Heyman, you owe me more than just a thank you. May this be foreshadowing of what made to be at SummerSlam, potentially Gunther versus Brock Lesnar. I don't know. But but how do you not think that? I think we get Gunther and Brock at SummerSlam, and that's Brock's last match at SummerSlam. I honestly believe that. But with Gunther and Seth Rollins, Gunther wins this. Gunther should not lose, period, this year at all. Seth Rollins beating Gunther is absolutely ridiculous and ludicrous. I'm going Gunther winning this match. Great match. Could even be match of the whole night and weekend, hands down. Could steal the entire weekend, in my opinion, hands down. But I'm going Gunther winning this thing in a good really good match, a great match. And we have Braun Breaker. This is where Braun Breaker comes back, and he cost Seth Rollins the match at WrestleMania, where Braun Breaker spears Seth Rollins. Braun Breaker's back. And while the referee's down, Gunther can put Seth in the sleeper. And imagine this visual. I'm actually making a bold prediction here. Gunther beats Seth, but Seth passes out in the sleeper. And Seth passes out right in front of a evil smiling Braun Breaker. Right in front of Braun Breaker, evilly smiling. Seth passes out right in front of Breaker. Well, Gunther chokes Seth out in the sleeper, and Seth passes out, and Gunther wins thanks to Braun Breaker. What is your prediction on this whole thing? Because that's mine.
I'm predicting Gunther to win as well. Like, there's no reason for Gunther to lose any match this year.
This man retired Goldberg, John Cena, and AJ Styles in the span of less than a year. Or in the span of, 6 months? You're not going to do that and have him fucking lose at all this year. That is stupid. That is creative malpractice at its finest.
Exactly.
So I'm going Gunther.
If anything, yeah, exactly. Gunther wins, and Braun Breaker, I think he costs Seth Rollins the match. Maybe he spears, maybe there's a ref bump. Then Braun Breaker, he comes in, he hits the spear on Rollins, and then Gunther, he knows about it now. He stares at Braun, he puts Seth in the sleeper, and Seth passes out.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe get to do something with Gunther and Heyman, maybe backstage after that. Maybe on the Raw after Mania, because Gunther, he wants the favor. He wants something in return after beating Seth.
You could do that. You could do that. But this should be a banger. Seth Rollins and Gunther. Because Gunther never has bad matches. And by the way, there are still idiots on social media that think Gunther is boring. Like, imagine saying Gunther's boring. Oh, Gunther sucks. He can't wrestle. Lies. But I'm going Gunther beating Seth Rollins here all the way. Gunther should not lose, period, this year. Gunther, I think, wins, and he should win. Then moving on to night 2, WrestleMania. This has 6 matches. Do you think we get a 7th match on the show?
I think it stays the same.
I mean, do we get Io versus Asuka still? I think that's rumored to maybe be on the show on night 2. I don't know. But we'll see. Night 2 looks a lot more promising than night 1, don't you think? Yeah. But Femi and Brock Lesnar on night 2. This is the opener for night 1, by the way. This has been booked perfectly so far going into WrestleMania. Femi and Brock Lesnar. Oba's usually got the upper hand on Brock. This was in 316 Raw a few weeks ago, about a month ago. Then they had a brawl in Madison Square Garden where Femi and Brock Lesnar fucking killed these security bums on the steel ramp on the outside, and Adam Pearce tried to stop him. He couldn't, and Triple H stopped him successfully, unlike Adam Pearce. And then they had a contract signing last week on Raw where it was a little pull apart, and I see people complaining, oh, that was it? That was not much, that's it? I didn't see a problem with it because you don't want too many pull apart brawls like they've had lately on SmackDown as of late with Cody and Randy. And then we had an individual contract signing this past Monday on Raw for first Brock and then Oba. And Oba Femi cut a very good promo on Raw this past Monday, by the way, which was absolutely fantastic, which Oba saying, I'm the ruler, I'm the destroyer, the bringer of war, I'm the mountain that you cannot climb and you cannot conquer. Now, I'm the best, and I will beat the beast. The ruler will beat the beast at WrestleMania. What do you think of this whole build and this match at Mania?
Been the best built match going into Mania. They've made a phenomenal job at making Obafemi look like a world beater. He's been made to look like a badass throughout the build. He is
one of the big future pieces of the company and a multi-time Mania main eventer for years to come. Hands down. They've done such a great job booking Oba. And I will say this. I think I'm going Obafemi. He should win. I wouldn't be surprised, though, if Brock Lesnar wins, because Oba's gotten the upper hand on him for weeks. I don't think one time Brock's got the upper hand on him once during this whole build. But if Brock were to win, the way they've booked Oba lately, honestly, this could go either way. And honestly, if Brock wins, I would not be mad. Because Oba is, like, this match hasn't even happened yet, and Obafemi has already been made a new star. He's already made, he's just been newly made a new star. Where if Brock wins, I see some people, oh, Brock Lesnar wins, Obafemi's buried. I don't see it that way. I don't think it's that bad as a lot of people may think it may be if Brock goes over. If Brock wins, I think Oba will be fine. But I think Oba should win. Though Oba should win this, and I'm picking Obafemi. I think Oba winning over Brock would be a big, huge deal for Oba. Big time. But if Brock wins, I wouldn't be surprised, but I wouldn't be mad at it. I don't know what you're going with here, but because I got Obafemi.
Honestly, it may be surprising to go to surprising. I'm actually going with Brock Lesnar.
It wouldn't shock me, but I wouldn't be mad at it either.
I'm actually going with us. The reason for it is because Oba, every time they've had a segment, Oba and Brock, Oba has actually gotten the better of Brock Lesnar.
Yeah,
and at no point, I know they did the brawl, a few weeks ago on Raw, and they kept them separate this past Monday, when they did the contract signing. Yeah, like Oba out of he and Brock, I don't think I've ever seen. Now we've seen situations where Brock Lesnar has been, taken down, looking old. But honestly, at least like even then, like Lesnar always found like there were other segments where Lesnar stood tall over his opponent. I don't think not one time during this build has Brock Lesnar stood tall over Obafemi.
Not one at all.
Yeah,
like this guy got a fall from grace powerbomb by Oba, that so much so that the first time Oba did it to Brock, that it got a holy shit commentary line from Michael Cole on the 316 Raw about a month ago. Like, really, only offense Brock has got is an F5 on a poor security bomb on the outside steel ramp in Madison Square Garden on Raw 2 weeks ago. After Obafemi to the same security bomb, tossed him to that back suplex front toss signature before his fall from grace. He did this to the security guy on the outside, fucking killed him. Yeah. Then minutes later, Brock Lesnar, same security guard, gave him an F5 on that same steel ramp, by the way. We're literally the only offense Brock has gotten this entire build.
Yeah, the only offense he's got, and it's not even on Obafemi.
Yeah.
That's how you know that this how heavily protected Oba has been.
They booked him in this build perfectly.
So honestly, I think there's. Yeah, honestly, that's honestly why I think Lesnar is winning, because Oba has stood tall all the time.
Yeah.
The question is, though, how do you have Lesnar win? Because you can't just have him beat Obafemi easily. Like, you just...
How long do you think this match goes, by the way?
Maybe shy of 10 minutes. At least. Maybe 8 minutes.
If
Let them go balls to the... Like, let them start off
Yeah.
hot. Let them get as much as they could. Let them be explosive.
I would not start this match with a collar elbow tie up. If I'm booking this match, I'm having them like two bulls like ram right each other. Like, you know how Brock Lesnar and Goldberg was booked at WrestleMania 33? How they just went balls to the wall. Their WrestleMania 20 match was terrible. They had a collar elbow tie up and a chin lock, headlock. Yeah, devastating, right? Because that's exactly what I want to see.
Yeah. Like, no, this is not how you start a match between two behemoths. If anything, they should run at each other. They should beat the shit out of each other.
They should book this match how they booked Goldberg and Lesnar at WrestleMania 33 in 2017 in Orlando. You know, they went like, it's like two bulls like clashed head to head. Like they went like full on steam ahead. You know what I'm saying? That's how Obafemi and Brock Lesnar should be booked at WrestleMania Night 2. That's how it should be booked as. I think that's the way to go about it. You know?
Exactly.
And I think they should book it like that, a mixed combo of that. Like this is how I think they should book Oba and Brock at Mania Night 2, the opener. Book it as have it booked as a mix. I book it like you did Goldberg Brock at Mania 33. Also book it like you did Samoa Joe and Brock Lesnar and Great Balls of Fire, where Joe dominated Lesnar and then Lesnar at F5, but Lesnar won, and then Lesnar beat Joe, but barely. Like he barely escaped Samoa Joe. Like Joe had him in the coquina clutch. Lesnar gets an F5 barely, and Lesnar gets a 3 count, but Lesnar wins, but he barely survived Joe. If you're gonna have Brock win, have him barely survive Oba.
Yeah, barely. If anything, why not have Oba out of the F5?
Yeah, maybe have him kicked out of F5 at 1. Not even 1. Like you want to make the statement there. That I think that would be great. So if Brock goes over, have him barely survive Obafemi. You're not gonna have like just a collar elbow tie up and then Brock just beats him decisively. That's not how it works. Both guys need to look good and strong. If I'm booking, I would have Oba win. I think he should win. It makes sense. But if Brock wins, it wouldn't shock me. Wouldn't be mad. But if you're going to have Brock win, he needs to go on there and barely, and I mean barely, beat Oba. Like he beats him by the skin of his teeth. What is your take on that?
Yeah, that's honestly how it should be booked. You know, Lesnar, if he's gonna win, he should win, but he gets lucky. Like he's been through a war with a guy, who couldn't stay down.
Yeah,
he throws everything at Oba, but Oba throws it back at him. Yeah, but then Lesnar, by the skin of his teeth, wins.
Yeah, like it's almost like a fluke. Like he got so fucking lucky.
Yeah.
Now, if you're teasing Gunther and Brock at SummerSlam, do we get Oba and Brock again?
Honestly, if I'm being honest, I think we actually get Gunther and Lesnar at SummerSlam.
So if we do that at SummerSlam, Oba should really win this. If he doesn't, they need to do Oba and Brock at SummerSlam. I don't know. Or maybe they have the 2-night format now for SummerSlam. What do you think of this? Now that SummerSlam's 2 nights, you can use a 2-night format for SummerSlam like you did WrestleMania 40 with Cody and Roman with WrestleMania 40 2 years ago. What if we get Brock wrestling on night 1 and night 2 at SummerSlam in Minneapolis? I mean, it's in his hometown anyway. Brock wrestles Gunther one of the nights, and then the other night Brock wrestles Oba. Something I just thought about.
That one, I wouldn't hate it.
That way it's, Oba gets what he wants and Gunther gets what he wants. Like, it's like there's the best of both worlds right there and everybody wins.
Maybe.
That's if Oba doesn't beat Brock at WrestleMania. If he does, then we do Brock and Gunther at SummerSlam. But if Brock goes over Oba at Mania, Oba Brock Part 2 and Gunther and Brock both nights at SummerSlam in Minneapolis this August. That's what I would do if Brock goes over Oba at Mania. But I got Oba going over.
I'm going with Lesnar. But honestly, this is one of those matches where it's unpredictable. Like, you don't know who's winning.
Could really go either way, and that's actually that's what I actually really love about it. You can't really predict who's winning, and that's what I really love about not just WrestleMania but wrestling in general. It's always boring when you always have to predict matches. I think it's actually very fun and exciting when a match or matches are unpredictable. Anything can happen. I love that aspect, actually. I wish we get that more often. You don't get that much often nowadays in wrestling because of like social media and things easily get leaked out. You know what I'm saying? I wish we had more. I wish we had more of that, to be honest.
Yeah.
I genuinely miss that in wrestling. Remember the good old days wrestling? There's not much internet. Everything was like, you never could really predict what could happen. And it was just fun. It was just exciting and fun. I miss that. I really do.
Nowadays you can look up on social media and you see a Fightful report.
Or you see spoilers too. I hate that.
Hi, I'm Sean Ross 7, Fightful Select. We reported it. I'm Sean Ross 7, Fightful Select. This is what's gonna happen, or what we've been told is gonna happen.
Or no one knows until we report it. Oh, Fightful reported it. Oh, no one knows until Fightful's the first to report it. I hate that. Like these fucking dirt sheets, dude, that think they know everything. I hate that. You know, back then there was no internet where you could watch TV and it's like, who's going to win? You know? Nowadays, just with the age of the internet and social media and technology, shit gets out there and leaked out very easy. And it's not exciting much anymore. I don't like that at all, but I just thought I'd throw that out there. But Oba and Brock should be very good. Hopefully they book the match right and they book the match how it should be booked. It cannot be booked collar, elbow, tie-up, and chin lock. That is a terrible way to go. They need to book it like Brock and Goldberg, Mania 33, and Samoa Joe, Lesnar, Great Balls of Fire. If they don't book it like that, this match will be a bust. I hope that's not the case and they book this match correctly. But this could really go either way, and I've been liking, and their build has been very good going into their Mania match. But we go into the second match. I think this is on the first hour of Mania night 2, just like night 1, first hour is on ESPN, I think.
Which match?
They got first 2 matches for each night, starting first hour of Mania on ESPN, then the ESPN Unlimited and whatnot. But the second match on night 2 is a 6-pack ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship. Penta defending against Javon Evans, Dragon Lee, JD McDonough, Rusev, and the recently returned Rey Mysterio. Originally, I said Gunther versus Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania. I actually like this a lot better than Gunther and Rey Mysterio. Gunther and Rey Mysterio, I don't hate it, but is it really WrestleMania worthy at this point? Not really.
Rey Mysterio, he's not going to retire anytime soon.
No, and Gunther's a career killer. Like, Rey's not retiring anytime soon. That makes no sense. I actually like this. This makes a lot more sense with Rey in the ladder match for the IC title. Rey's not there to win titles, Rey Mysterio, right now, unless there's big plans for him, and he's not retiring anytime soon. But and he's not winning the IC title here, but I actually like this spot in Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania. This makes all the sense in the world. I don't hate this whatsoever. I think this is actually really good. We got Rey Mysterio in there, Javon Evans, Rusev. We got Rey Mysterio, Rusev, Penta, Dragon Lee, JD McDonough, Javon Evans. If there's probably like Gunther and Seth could steal a show, another match that could be a show stealer this weekend is this match. Penta, I think, retains, though. He just won the IC title. He hasn't done much of anything lately with the title because he just won it. There's no reason to take the title off Penta. I would say the very latest Penta drops the title this August at SummerSlam, at the very latest. And Penta's beaten Vikingo at AAA this past weekend. I heard in a good match, it beat Vikingo with Omos. He beat Kofi Kingston. He beat, I think, Grayson Waller. He beat Dragon Lee in a very good open challenge match. He beat Dominic Mysterio to win the title in the first place thanks to Finn Balor. Penta's beat Penta, the opponents he's faced, not bad at all, but he hasn't had done much with the title much at all because he just won it. I'm going Penta to retain. Should be a good ladder match, but I'm going Penta. Javon Evans just got called up. He's not winning. I would say it's too early. Build him up some more, then crown him. Maybe we get Penta and Javon at SummerSlam, and that's where you crown Javon Evans IC champion at SummerSlam. I would not mind that at all. Dragon Lee, I don't think he wins. He's gotten some shine lately, and the pairing with AJ Styles truly helped him. He's even doing AJ Styles finisher, the Styles Clash. So I've been liking the shine Dragon Lee's been getting on Raw as of late for the past several weeks. Even had a banger with Gunther coming out of the chamber on Raw about over a month ago as well. I don't think he wins this. JD McDonough, his first Mania match. Some people think he could, maybe, but I don't think he should. He won't win, though. I'm going Penta. Rusev, he was made to look strong this past Monday on Raw for the first time in a long time, but I don't think he wins. Rey Mysterio, he's there to put Penta over, so I'm going Penta. And I'm going Zero Miedo to win and retain the Intercontinental title. Who do you got?
I'm going with Penta as well. Like, there's no reason to take the title off him. He just won it last month off of Dominic.
Yeah.
Okay, he just recently won the championship. It would kind of like cutting the guy's legs from underneath him if you take the title off him this quickly. Javon Evans, maybe he could be the guy to dethrone him, but not right now. I think you could save it for a few months. They can wait it out.
I would say SummerSlam.
Yeah, maybe. Rusev, he was made to look good on Monday, but he's not gonna win the IC title.
And he stood tall on the Raw Go Home show, so that means he won't win either. Anyway.
Yeah. Like JD McDonough, listen, I like JD, but please.
Yeah, McDonough.
He has a better chance of dating a pop star than winning the Intercontinental Championship.
Oh my God! But yeah, we love JD McDonough, by the way. So just letting you guys know, no JD McDonough slander allowed here, by the way, folks.
Yeah, but he's not gonna win the IC title. Rey Mysterio, he wasn't even supposed to be in this match. He just barely made it onto the card.
Yeah, he's just here to put Penta over.
Yeah. And honestly, Rey Mysterio's at this stage of his career right now, he doesn't need to win any championships.
No.
He can just be there to add. He's just there to add star power.
Exactly. And maybe, who's to say Rey Mysterio didn't have a say in this? He wanted to be in this match instead of the match with Gunther because Gunther's the career killer. And Rey Mysterio is not even close to retiring. And when the time comes, Rey does retire. I think Rey Mysterio wants to be retired by not Gunther, but by his son, Dominic. Because I think Rey has always said when the time comes for him to hang up the boots, he wants his son to retire him and pass the mask off over to his son.
Yeah.
And I didn't do this, by the way, son.
That's not his son.
That's Rey Mysterio's son, bro. Dominic Mysterio.
He's not. He never was.
He's a Mysterio through and through, bro. Come on.
He's a Guerrero.
He's a Mysterio. Full and full.
Lying.
He's a Mysterio, bro. Is Dominic.
Shut up. You liar.
I mean, the commentators say it all the time. Dominic is Rey Mysterio's son.
They are corrupted.
But yeah, when Rey Mysterio is close to retiring, which right now is nowhere close to, when he does retire, Rey does want to be retired by Dominic, his son. So maybe Rey Mysterio had a say and maybe had a poll, maybe, put me in this ladder match. Don't do the match with me and Gunther. And Rey probably got what he wanted. Who's to say?
Possible. Very possible.
But Then he mentioned, and then Dragon Lee, he's not winning either. He recently challenged Penta a few weeks ago for the title and lost in a good match, by the way, a banger match, by the way. But he's not winning this.
He's not.
So Penta, I think we both got Penta to win. There's zero reason to take the title off him. At the very latest, he loses that thing at SummerSlam. And who knows, maybe, I don't know if we get a draft or transfer window coming out of Mania this year. I don't know if we do. If we do, can we please draft Rey Fenix or move him to Raw? Because he's doing fuck all on SmackDown. And maybe we get Penta versus Rey Fenix at SummerSlam for the Intercontinental title. Lucha Bro versus Lucha Bro.
You could certainly do that.
I'd love that, dude. I'd fucking love that.
Like, please, like, just give Rey Fenix anything. Anything interesting.
I mean, all the luchas are on Raw anyway. And Rey Fenix is probably better off on Raw than he is on SmackDown, man. He's doing nothing on SmackDown, dude. Nothing on there. Like, SmackDown's the worst show on television. Please get him off there. Get him on Raw with his brother Penta. And then if you do that match for a SummerSlam match for the IC title, maybe that would be the very slowly beginning of getting the Lucha Bros back together on Raw. You could tell a story with that. So I actually hope they do that. So I think that's a lot better for SummerSlam, but I think we both got Penta on the board. What do you say? You got Penta?
Yeah, I got Pentagon.
You got Penta as well. One match that has been one of the outs, Cody and Randy's been booked like shit going into Mania. This also is second with that. This has also been booked poorly going into Mania, just as bad as Cody and Randy. Jade Cargill and Rhea Ripley for the Women's Championship. I'm sorry, I may have to go here. Hold on. I'm going to leave the floor to you with this match because that's how I don't care.
Yeah, excuse me, and then he gets out. I don't blame him. This fucking build-up has been dog shit.
Seriously. Genuinely. It's a load of horse shit.
Oh, I'm that bitch. Oh, I work out. Oh, look at my muscles. Like, that's your fucking build for your Women's Championship match going into WrestleMania. You can tell Rhea is desperately trying, but I think Jade Cargill just flat out straight up sucks and doesn't care. And apparently Jade and Rhea don't like each other in real life, by the way. You would think they try and bring that real life to television, but I think Jade just doesn't straight up care. She doesn't care. Jade Cargill's not passionate about wrestling. She sucks in the ring. She sucks on the mic, and she's only there for the money. That's all Jade Cargill's there for. She don't care about professional wrestling. I think she genuinely hates the sport. She's all about herself. Seriously. Oh, but she has this baddies group with B-Fab and Meechin. Yeah, two losers. And you pair them with Jade Cargill, and I'm supposed to care, right? Right?
Amazing.
Oh, but it worked in AEW. Why are you so pissed off about this? Give it a chance. I gave it a chance. It fucking blows. It blows.
It wasn't good either in AEW. Like, who was she paired up with? Red Velvet and Kira Hogan.
Yeah.
Yeah, two.
Yeah, how well did that work out?
Yeah, two bums.
There's literally no difference here.
Like,
now,
literally, what's the difference? It's Jade Cargill holding a championship, except this time it's the women's championship and not the mid-card title, which
like
it was the
CBS
previous title that she held
AEW.
at the time. And she's paired, and she has her own faction and paired up with bums.
Yeah, two losers who, like, when was the last time Meechin and B-Fab won a match? I couldn't tell you. And you pair them with Jade Cargill, and now all of a sudden I'm supposed to care about B-Fab and Meechin now that they're paired with Jade Cargill? This build with Jade and Rhea has been fucking dog shit, like you said. To say it's been dog shit is a very big understatement. And you're not wrong at all, bro. This feud has fucking sucked. It's been bad with this build going at this match going into Mania for the women's title. It's been fucking deplorable. I'm sorry. It's bad. Stephanie Vecchio and Liv Morgan has been the much better build than Jade Cargill and Rhea Ripley. That's not saying much, but I mean, I'm not wrong in saying that. Like, Stephanie and Liv are going at it trying to beat the shit out of each other. This is what Rhea and Jade should be. But no, we're getting, oh, I'm that bitch. Oh, I work out and do pull-ups. Oh, I have bigger, better muscles. Like, what the fuck is that? Terrible.
And what's worse, Io Sky is dragged into this.
Yep. Io Sky, mind you, match of the year candidate on last year's Mania, facing Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair. Now she's not on the card at all this year.
Yeah,
awful.
She loses. Yeah, she's made to look like an incompetent child.
Oh, but Io and Rhea are friends, or buddy friends. Look, they may be good friends in real life, but Jesus Christ, like, you drag Io Sky into this Jade Cargill crap when Jade Cargill, nobody likes her to begin with, and she sucks. This Jade Cargill. Even as the heel, Jade sucks. I actually want Rhea to win just to end this Jade Cargill fucking experiment. When Jade loses this women's title, by the way, bro, Jade Cargill will go down and you can clip it and you can quote me right here. I don't care what anyone says. When Jade Cargill loses that women's title, whenever she does, Jade Cargill will go down as one of the worst women's champions of all time. One of the worst. Her women's title reign has been a complete, utter failure. A fucking failure. She has
defended the belt one time.
Once or twice, right? Wrestled who? Jordynne Grace? And it was not bad, but that's because Jordynne Grace carried her. Who did Jade Cargill wrestle? Michin? Who gives a fuck? Against BFAB? Who gives a fuck? Wrestle Tiffany Stratton? Who cares? Jade Cargill's women's title reign has been fucking garbage. Garbage. I actually want Rhea to win this just to end this fucking experiment, but I think Jade wins this. Sadly. Who do you got, Jade or Rhea winning this, bro?
Who I want to win, Rhea Ripley. Who I think will win, it will be Jade. And this is my prediction. I think you think the same way. I think we see the return of Bianca Belair.
God, I hope so, because that SmackDown women's division really needs Bianca bad. And I mean bad. Look at that women's division on SmackDown. It's fucking horrendous. Horrendous, dude. Bianca Belair back wouldn't save it, but it would make it a hell of a lot better than it is now, which is absolutely just god-awful. And her presence has been obviously missed. She's been out for a year. I hope she's back at Mania. I heard she's doing like rehab or whatnot. Maybe she is back at Mania. I hope so, actually, honestly. I hope she's back.
Yeah.
Though, does she come back as a babyface or a heel? Like, do you have her come back as a face to even the odds against Jade Cargill and her baddies? Like, evening the odds with Io and Rhea? Or does Bianca come back, but as a heel, and she costs Rhea? Because if you remember, last year, Io, Rhea, Bianca, triple threat for the women's world title at last year's Mania, which opened night 2 of Mania last year, which was match of the year. Io won. But Bianca Belair was undefeated at WrestleMania, right? Who ended that streak last year? Io Sky. And Io pinned who last year? Bianca. And I think Io, whether she wrestles or not on night 2 against Asuka or not, because I think maybe we get Io, Sky, and Asuka at WrestleMania night 2, maybe. If not, or whether that's the case or not, I think Io Sky comes out to help Rhea anyway. But I think, like, because Io ended Bianca's WrestleMania undefeated streak last year, Bianca could also cost Rhea the title and blame Rhea for Bianca losing last year. It makes sense, and there's a story there with Bianca, Rhea, and Io. And actually, Bianca's a heel, and I think, let's be real, Bianca Belair operates better as a heel anyway. I can't be the only one who feels that way. But I don't know how you feel overall. And I think we do get Bianca back. Now, Bianca's back at Mania. Do we have this feud on SmackDown? Because Bianca's going to be on SmackDown. Do we get a draft or transfer window coming out of this year's Mania? And if we do we get Rhea and Io moved over to SmackDown to feud with Bianca?
I think honestly, if Bianca returns, I think she sides with Jade. Because and there's a story that you can have Bianca blame Io and Rhea for taking her out. You know, the reason she was out for a year was because of Rhea and Io. And they never really had Bianca turn on Jade or the other way around.
Right.
I mean, they were involved in the Naomi storyline, but Bianca never really turned on Jade.
And remember when Jade returned at the Chamber last year in Toronto and attacked Naomi before Naomi revealed herself as Jade's attack here in late 2024? Remember that? And Bianca's in one of the pods at last year's Chamber in Toronto. Bianca's crying, like, Jade, why are you attacking Naomi? Why? So Bianca hasn't shown much issue with Jade.
Yeah.
So I think Bianca comes back as a heel. And it's been 6 years Bianca's been a heel. She works better as a heel anyway.
She's never worked as a heel on the main roster.
And look at when she was a heel in NXT. She was fucking awesome. Remember the girl, and I'm better than you. You don't even go here. Remember that black and gold Bianca Belair when she was a heel? That Bianca was awesome. She works much better as a heel. She's a good face, but she works so much better as a heel. And like you said, she's never been a heel on the main roster. What was it? The Raw after Mania in 2020, they turned her face.
No, she debuted at WrestleMania. The empty arena WrestleMania. She debuted attacking Zelina Vega. She was celebrating with Angel Dawkins and Montez.
Yes. I think this was when Zelina Vega, that empty Performance Center Raw during the beginning of the pandemic in spring of 2020. I think Zelina Vega was with Andrade and Austin Theory, who was an NXT rookie at the time.
I think it was Angel Garza who teamed up with Austin Theory.
Angel Garza. I think Andrade, though, missed Mania because I think he had COVID.
He was suspended for violating the wellness policy.
Oh. Or was it? I thought it was COVID.
It wasn't COVID.
Oh. Because they had that empty arena WrestleMania, which nobody wants to remember. With no fans. But yeah, Bianca Belair, man, hopefully she's back at Mania. I would actually love that she comes back as a heel. It makes more sense. Like, for her to come back as a face is dumb. I think it's a lot better she comes back as a heel and turns heel, and she screws Rhea. And who knows? Maybe you have an alliance on SmackDown with Bianca, Jade, Meech, and B-Fab. But though B-Fab and Meech would be two non-factors. You could have Jade and Bianca as a heel duo wrecking roughshod on the SmackDown women's division. And it could probably lead to Rhea versus Bianca at SummerSlam, because that's a WrestleMania worthy match and the biggest match you can do in the women's division, Rhea versus Bianca. And Rhea and Bianca and Io's another big money match as well. So I think we both got Jade on the board.
Yeah.
And Bianca comes back, though I think she comes back as a heel. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Jade and Rhea, I hope it's a good match, but I'm not holding out much hope on that. What do you think? Is this going to be a shit match or a good match?
It's not going to be in the middle for sure. Like this will either be surprisingly good or unsurprisingly shit.
Yeah, it's either going to be good or bust. We'll see. Sami Zayn and Trick Williams for the United States Championship. There's rumors apparently that Sami Zayn and Trick Williams are going to do a double turn.
Yeah.
that Sammy's going to go heel, Trick's going to go face because Trick's been very over lately. And I know he's friends with Little Yachty, but Trick's been over as fuck lately. Outside of Oba, Trick's been over as fuck lately, man. The whoop that Trick. You talk about a star, you talk about Trick Williams, but this U.S. title match, I was actually thinking this, but actually, just into the show here, I'm going to make a bold prediction. If the plan is a double turn, the only way this works is if Sammy retains. I was originally going Trick Williams winning the U.S. title to start Trick Williams on the rise, but he'll be fine regardless. I am making a bold prediction. I'm going Sami Zayn to retain. If we get the double turn, I think Sammy retains.
Yeah, I'm picking Sammy as well. If you're doing a double turn, if you're gonna do a double turn at Mania, then Sammy has to retain. Like, he has to win, but he cheats.
It doesn't work if you do a double turn with Trick winning. That doesn't work. Only work if Sammy retains and goes heel. So if you're gonna do the double turn, if that's the plan, I'm going Sammy. So that's my bold prediction. And I think Trick Williams will be U.S. champion, but I would say not at Mania, though. Maybe going into Backlash, or maybe coming out of Backlash. Maybe SummerSlam is the time. Or maybe before SummerSlam and sometime or whatnot. Maybe the June or before SummerSlam this year. Something like that. Maybe we get Trick and Mello for the U.S. title this time, but at SummerSlam, which should have been the Mania match of being, let's be real. Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes should have been the U.S. title match at WrestleMania, yet we're leaving Carmelo Hayes off the card, which is bullshit. I fucking hate that. Carmelo Hayes this man carried the U.S. title open challenge on SmackDown for months, and you leave him off the WrestleMania card? Like there are no words for that, dude. Zero.
It's baffling.
Like, why would you do that? A guy who's literally been carrying your shit show for months since he's been United States champion, coming out of the end of 2025 last year, and you leave him off the fucking card. I don't even think that's Triple H at that point. I think it's Bruce Pritchard. Someone, probably Bruce Pritchard, Michael Hayes. One of them, if I was a betting man, one of them probably hates Carmelo Hayes. If I was a true betting man, dude. That's what I think. But to leave Carmelo Hayes off the WrestleMania card is complete, utter ludicrous. It is ludicrous. There's no defending that at that point.
It's just baffling. That's the word to describe it. You have this guy who was putting on some of the best matches. Scoring out the best matches on SmackDown. He was carrying the show on his back. He's been having a great run as the United States champion. And then you cut his legs from underneath him right before WrestleMania, when he should be going into WrestleMania as the champion. Like, it's just insane. Like just listen to this. Like, it's not just Carmelo Hayes. Like, Io Sky, Ilya Dragunov, Asuka.
Yeah, Ilya Dragunov, another one left off the card, which is ridiculous too. Oh, but what about Carmelo Hayes and Ilya Dragunov in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal? No, fuck that. Fuck that.
Both of these guys should be at WrestleMania.
Can you imagine Carmelo Hayes being left off the Mania card and him in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal again like last year? Carmelo Hayes and Ilya Dragunov. Imagine them in this year's Andre the Giant Battle Royal.
Oh, God.
If that happens, I'm telling you right now, every single fucking SmackDown writer should be fucking fired on the spot. Fire them all. If Carmelo Hayes and Ilya Dragunov are in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal tomorrow on SmackDown. Fire all the fucking SmackDown writers if that's the case. Seriously. You're going to leave Carmelo Hayes and Ilya Dragunov, and they have had a story. You're leaving them off the Mania card to put them in a meaningless, useless battle royal that doesn't mean jack shit. Where I could be in a battle royal. I could be in that battle royal and win it. And would it mean anything? Fuck no. Fuck no. And Sammy and Trick doesn't need the U.S. title either. So what are we doing here? If anything, this should have been a triple threat or fatal four-way for the U.S. title at Mania. Sammy, Trick, Mello, and Dragunov. But who am I, right?
Yeah.
Any comments?
It's just ludicrous. Like, you have both of these guys who've been carrying the show on their back. And neither guy, by the way, neither of them have ever been on a WrestleMania. Carmelo Hayes was left off the Mania card. He was teaming with the fucking Miz. Ilya Dragunov.
Yeah, because that worked out, right?
Yeah, Ilya Dragunov had an ACL injury. He was not going to make the Mania card.
But Carmelo Hayes won the Andre the Giant Battle Royal last year. Yeah, what did he do? Carry around a stupid trophy or carry around a Andre Dre necklace? Yeah. Andre the Giant rolling over in his fucking grave, right? And then, like you said, Carmelo Hayes paired with the Miz. How did that work out, huh?
Yeah,
Carmelo was paired with the Miz.
It worked out so great that the Carmelo Hayes was losing every match on SmackDown after that.
But Mello with the Miz was great. Mello don't miss. It was garbage. It was garbage. Anyone paired with the Miz means your career is... You know what I'm saying?
Literally.
But Sammy and Trick, I'm going Sami Zayn.
You're going Zayn as well.
The next match on the show, I think this could be the second to last match on night 2. The Demon Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio. I'm going to go Balor. I'm going to go Demon Balor winning. And not bad build going into this match for Mania. And I'm glad Balor's the face again. It was time to turn him face. He did everything there was to do as the heel that he was for 4 years. And not bad with their build going into Mania. Been liking it. And I think we get Balor winning. Who do you got?
It's self-explanatory. I think we get the Demon. This is his first match as the Demon King.
Well, for the first time in 3 years. I think he wrestled Edge at Hell in a Cell, WrestleMania 39, Hell in a Cell Night 2 in Los Angeles. Where Edge won, where Triple H wanted Finn Balor to win, but Vince changed the decision, made Edge win. Oh, but Vince McMahon wasn't in charge in 2023.
Sure thing, pal.
It's a true story, by the way. Triple H wanted Finn Balor to go over, but Vince chose Edge instead, and Vince unfortunately got his way.
Unfortunately.
Oh, but Vince wasn't back in charge in 2023. Vince wasn't running things. Bullshit. Bullshit. But Balor and Dominic, I'm going Balor. First time Demon Balor for the first time in, 3 years? Yeah. And no, I don't count Extreme Rules 2021. Remember that.
Terrible.
Finn Balor going for the coup de grace, and the turnbuckle explodes and he falls.
Oh my God.
I don't think anybody wants to remember that. And they didn't explain that. Not one mention from the commentators with that after that. So fucking stupid. I don't even want to talk about that, but that's how bad it was. But I got Finn Balor winning this, self-explanatory, like this guy said. We both got Finn Balor here on the board here. And then the main event of night 2, WrestleMania 42, night 2. This is the main event of night 2. CM Punk versus Roman Reigns for the World Heavyweight Championship. Their build. First 2 promos, very good. Roman says, I choose you, Punk, at Mania because I hate you and you want to treat me like a young boy. You tried brainwashing my cousins, the Usos, and mentioning the Zebros stuff. And Roman Reigns says, I don't choose you, Punk, because you're the biggest star on Netflix. I'm choosing you at Mania because I hate you. And then CM Punk bringing up Roman Reigns' dead father, saying, Roman, I'm going to beat you and bury you at Mania and bury you next to your dead father. And then you got the Usos involved, and CM Punk telling Usos that Roman's treating you like young boys, and that, you know, Roman still hasn't apologized to you guys. Then the Usos that smacked Punk in the face several weeks ago. Then Roman Reigns spears Punk and puts Punk through a table the Raw before on Raw on the Raw before MSG. Then CM Punk shield bombs Roman through the table at Raw MSG 2 weeks ago. And then CM Punk caught a pipe bomb on Raw last week. And then Punk and Roman, their final promo from Raw this past Monday. I think in my opinion, it felt very flat. I think their build was good. Then it took a still slow nosedive. Still not a bad build, but still my opinion. Punk and Roman, like Open Brock, is also unpredictable. I don't know what happens here. If Roman wins the title, which I hope he doesn't. I mean, I don't want Roman to win, and he shouldn't win the title here unless Roman's sticking around after Mania. But I don't see it. If he's not, then Roman shouldn't win. If Roman is sticking around for quite a while, coming out of Mania, going into SummerSlam, then I would say yes, give Roman the championship. But I don't see Roman sticking around much after Mania. I think he takes his long vacation again coming out of Mania, to be honest with you, bro. So if that's the case, I'm going Punk to retain. And he has had a very good reign as world champion and has done Raw a lot good with him as champion. And it doesn't need to end. I would say I think Punk should hold the title until SummerSlam, where he drops it to Oba Femi, if I'm being honest. Oba Femi wins the King of the Ring, and then Oba and Punk for the world title at SummerSlam. Boom. But I don't think Punk should lose a title right now. I don't think it's the time. So I'm actually going CM Punk. If Roman Reigns wins, it's a Netflix thing. And Netflix may want Roman as their champion on Raw with Netflix. If Roman wins, I think it's a Netflix thing, which wouldn't surprise me. Because Netflix wants what they want. But I'm going CM Punk to win. But this is how Punk wins. I think we get a ref bump, right? I think the Usos, they're on night one wrestling. I think they win on night one. Now, just because they're wrestling on night one doesn't mean they can't be on night two. There's going to be a ref bump. Usos come out. And Punk did mention to Jimmy and Jay Uso that Roman, though after WrestleMania 40, Roman was no longer with Bloodline, Roman still has not apologized to Jimmy and Jay. You know, Roman treated Jay and Jimmy bad in the original Bloodline, and Roman still has not apologized to them. Usos, I think, get involved in the main event of night two, but they screw Roman over. Now, I don't know if, now I wouldn't say Punk goes heel, but I think Usos fuck Roman over, and they cost Roman the title, allowing Punk to retain the title at WrestleMania. I think that's what happens here. And even before War Games last November, remember how Roman was belittling Jimmy and Jay, saying, I don't want to see you till Christmas 2025, something like that. I think Jay and Jimmy cost Roman the world championship at WrestleMania. And I think Punk retains. And we get Roman feuding with Jimmy and Jay Uso coming out of WrestleMania. That's my bold prediction. Because they've been teasing Roman with Usos and with Punk for months.
I'm going with CM Punk. He's been on an incredible run as World Heavyweight Champion. Like, there's no reason to take the title off.
And if you ask me, when we do our year-end award show at the end of this year, CM Punk is absolutely going up there as Wrestler of the Year candidate. He's had a great world title run. So, do you think Jay and Jimmy get involved here? Do we see them screw Roman? Do we see a Bloodline reunion or somewhat of a Bloodline reunion, which I don't want to see because that would put a bad look on Triple H with the creativity. I don't want to see that. And the Bloodline peaked in 2024 coming out of WrestleMania 40, if I'm being honest, and War Games in 2024. But I don't think we get a Bloodline reunion, and we shouldn't. I think Jimmy and Jay cost Roman the title. It may look like they're about to be buddies again, but then Jimmy and Jay double super kick Roman, cost him the title, and we have the Usos turn heel on Roman. Now, do you see Jay and Jimmy get involved? Because lately, Jay has not been eating lately. There's got to be a reason for that.
Yeah.
Which is the much better Jay Uso, by the way. The less eating, the better.
Yeah, he's actually been more entertaining.
Like pacing around like a caged animal. I don't know. What do you think? Do the Usos cost Roman here?
I think we see an interference with the Uso. I think they cost Roman.
Yeah. Now, if they cost Roman, it could be interesting leading into the Raw after Mania. Do we see maybe someone align with Usos to feud with Roman going into SummerSlam? I don't know, but Zilla fought too. I'm making a bold prediction. Now, I don't know how good of a look that would be with another bloodline, but that's still, I don't know if that's a good look still. But that's just another bold prediction. I don't think it happens, but I do at least see Jay and Jimmy turning on Roman at Mania.
Yeah.
CM Punk, though, I don't think goes heel.
He doesn't need to go heel, man. He just needs to outsmart the Usos and Roman.
Now, I don't know if you've seen this on social media earlier, Roman Reigns talking about Pat McAfee. Do we see Pat McAfee get involved in night 2?
Please, no.
God,
Please,
I
no.
hope not.
Oh, my
God,
God.
I fucking hope not. If that happens, bro, I'm going the fuck off. And I will hold nothing back on that, by the way. Please no. Pat McAfee needs to stay far the fuck away from WrestleMania Night 2 main event as possible. He has zero business in that, bro. Zero. Oh, but CM Punk was talking shit about Punk and Cody, saying they're terrible champions and we need to save wrestling and the product sucks.
Oh, God. Nobody wanted to see Pat McAfee in the Randy Cody storyline. Nobody wants to see Pat McAfee facing Punk. Or interfering in the Punk match.
Nobody wants to see Pat on Friday. You think people want to see him on Monday? Man, is Ari Emanuel this fucking stupid if that happens or what? Clearly, Ari Emanuel knows nothing about wrestling. He's not a wrestling guy at all. And what would this do for Pat McAfee? And even whether it's on both shows or just SmackDown, what would this do for Pat McAfee? Like, you do realize when football season comes up, he goes away again. So what does this accomplish? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I hope to God that doesn't happen. Pat McAfee showing up for WrestleMania Night 2, helping, getting involved in the WrestleMania 42 Night 2 main event. Pat McAfee getting involved in that? God, I hope not. God, I hope not.
That would be terrible.
Like, you thought with the one last year, you thought the one last year with Travis Scott was bad. You thought that shit was fucking bad. With the Night 2 main event, a Mania last year, you thought that shit was bad, bro? This would be worse if that happens.
That would be terrible.
But that is the WrestleMania preview predictions here on the channel. I do want to talk about one or two other things really quick. It's just AEW stuff. Apparently, and we got a lot to say. John C. White, 6J mentioned Darby Allin, new champion. Yeah, we promised you talking about that. Here it is. So we watched Dynamite together last night, right? Apparently, Darby Allin during WrestleMania week on AEW Dynamite last night, they were in Washington, right? Darby Allin.
I think it was Seattle.
Seattle, where Darby Allin's from. Apparently, Darby Allin won the AEW championship last night, jobbing MJF. Yes, jobbing MJF in less than a minute. Low blow. After MJF does a low blow behind the referee, then still behind the referee, Darby Allin with a low blow in return. 4 coffin drop bombs.
But before that, he hit a Scorpion Death Drop, Sting's finisher.
Yes.
And then he did the 4 coffin drops after that, and then he beats MJF with a headlock
for pin combo.
Yeah, he hit the 4 coffin drops on each corner. And then he beats him with a headlock takedown. A move that MJF has beaten him several times to win the AEW World Championship. Yes, Darby Allin won the AEW World Championship.
Holy shit. What the fuck was that last night?
Yes,
and I love
yes.
Darby
I heard
Allin,
this.
but why? Why? Darby Allin should have won the championship. Listen to this. If you were going to crown Darby Allin the world champion in AEW, this should have happened at All in Texas last July with the Death Riders, who held the world title in a fucking briefcase. Remember that with John Moxley?
Yeah, they had John Moxley parading around like he was Mr. Money in the Bank.
Darby should have been the one to beat Mox for the title at All in last July. But Darby Allin wanted to climb Mount Everest, and Tony Khan didn't tell Darby, no, don't climb Mount Everest. You're winning the world title. You're not climbing Mount Everest. I'm crowning you the champion. You are not to climb Mount Everest. End of story. Tony Khan didn't do that because he's not a boss. He's buddy-buddy with everybody in AEW. He doesn't tell these people no, unless it's something absolutely ludicrous and ridiculous. Apparently, climbing Mount Everest wasn't ridiculous enough for Tony to say no and step in and tell Darby no, apparently. But we got Hangman Page beating Mox for the title at All in Texas last July, and there was clearly no plan for Adam Page's world champ coming out of All in last year. If you thought there was, you're a blithering idiot. And look at Hangman Page's title reign coming out of All in last year. Who did he wrestle? Kyle Fletcher, Lee Moriarty? Like, nothing matches. Then he wrestled the Ops and Samoa Joe, and Joe had to win because he had just turned heel. If he had lost right after turning heel, would have been dumb. Then Joe was a transitional champion for MJF at World's End last December, right? And then MJF wins the title last December, World's End. And AEW lately doing really good with MJF as world champion. He beats Adam Page in a match where Adam Page, if he lost, he could never challenge for the world title again in AEW, period, at Revolution. Good stuff. Really good stuff. Also really good stuff at Dynasty last Sunday with Kenny Omega. 40-minute match. Very good match with Omega in Canada against Kenny Omega at AEW Dynasty. And then we have this. So he beats Adam Page. Good banger match, long, like almost like at least 30 minutes, then 40 minutes with Omega at Dynasty. But he loses to Darby in less than a minute, and an ice-cold Darby Allin at that. This guy, Darby Allin, lately feuding with the fucking War Dogs. Like so fucking bad, it's MFT's versus Wyatt 6 level bad. And you don't want to be anywhere near that territory, bro. Seriously. And then Darby Allin wrestles Andrade and beats Andrade.
How many weeks?
Where Darby,
how many weeks
if he gets a title match, then they book it and then they book it last night for Dynamite during WrestleMania week to try and steal Thunder at Mania. Which, by the way, they stole no Thunder from Mania. By the way, let's be real. As bad as the Pat McAfee thing is, nobody's going to be talking about Darby. Nobody.
By the way, how many times did he fought Gabe Kidd? How many times did he fight Clark Connors and David Finlay on Dynamite?
Felt like 10 years, bro. It's so bad, like Wyatt 6 and MFT level bad.
Yeah, how many times did we see Roderick Strong versus Gabe Kidd, or Orange Cassidy versus Clark Connors, or Orange Cassidy, Roderick Strong versus David Finlay and Gabe Kidd, or David Finlay and Clark Connors versus Roderick Strong and Darby Allin? How many times we saw this on Dynamite?
They even fought at the pay-per-view on Dynasty last Sunday.
Yeah, this feud that never ends.
And then Darby Allin gets a title shot from last night, and he wins. Darby should have won the thing last July, but he wanted to climb Mount Everest. Like, Darby Allin is a world champion. Honestly, bro, that ship sailed. And now he's world champion. And what is this going to do for Dynamite? Oh, MJF wins it back next month at Double or Nothing in New York City. It does nothing. MJF should have held the title from December World's End to All in from December last year from World's End to All in this August at Wembley to drop it to Will Ospreay. And now MJF's going to win it back next month. And now with MJF winning it back next month, and then now if he loses it to Will Ospreay at All In, what is it going to mean now? Nothing. When it would have been a lot better, when it would have felt a lot bigger and more impactful had MJF held the title from December all the way till this August to drop it to Ospreay. And MJF losing the title anytime before All In is fucking, it's creative malpractice. It's awful, awful booking. Oh, but MJF could win it back. Well, it means nothing now. Now, if MJF wins it back, what's it going to mean?
By the way, Will
For
Ospreay,
if he does wrestle MJF for the title all in, what's going to mean for Ospreay now? Nothing now. You
Will
ruined
Ospreay-
it just
the
because
same
you
Will
want to
Ospreay.
thunder for WrestleMania. You stole
The same-
nothing from WrestleMania.
the
Nothing.
same Will. Oh my god, I love this rant. The same Will Ospreay, by the way.
I'm sorry, I'm
it's
just
really
heated
good.
with this shit, bro.
And speaking of Will Ospreay, he had a 15-minute match with Hechicero on Dynamite.
Yeah.
Same Will Ospreay, who they are trying to build as the top babyface of AEW, and here he is struggling to beat the 15th least important member of the Don Callis family. And how many members are there in the Don Callis family? What, 100?
Yeah, you could build an entire show with that, with the Don Callis family, bro.
Yeah, he's facing the least important member of the Don Callis family. The guy who never wins on Dynamite.
Talk about.
Yeah, Hechicero never wins matches on Dynamite. He never wins matches on Collision. He never wins matches on Collision, let alone Dynamite. And
he's
here
like
he is.
another guy that doesn't win matches, like the Beast Mortos.
Yeah, and here he is. Here he is beating the shit out of Will Ospreay, who's supposed to be the face of the company. He is dismantling Will Ospreay, getting offense on him.
On no planet should a guy like Hechicero get any sort of offense on a guy like Will Ospreay.
Literally.
This is like if the Miz got any offense or most offense on a guy like Obafemi or Trick Williams.
You're supposed to be building the top baby.
No planet should that happen, bro.
You're supposed to be building the top babyface in your promotion, who you want to be the next world heavyweight champion. He should not be going out there and struggling against guys who don't win matches, who are basically losers on the television show.
And you know the most fucked up thing about this whole thing with Will Ospreay, bro? He goes from wrestling and feuding with the Death Riders. Now he's wrestling. He goes from that to now wrestling and feuding with the Don Callis family.
Oh joy, because that's so exciting.
It's
so
not
exciting.
even a comparison. It's not. It's like it's one and the same.
Literally, like what's the difference? They're both
Both
factions. Both factions are terrible. And we're getting Will Ospreay next week on Dynamite facing Mark Davis.
Yeah,
Oh,
I can't wait for that one. Said no one ever.
Say Mark Davis, who can beat Jack Perry on a pay-per-view, and here he is facing the top, who's supposed to be the top babyface.
And ever since Will Ospreay Ospreay came back a while ago, his first match back against Blake Christian, who, NXT 2021 fucking reject. When he was Trey Baxter, NXT in 2021, was there less than a year, got released. You see why. And then he wrestles Jon Moxley at Dynasty. Good match, but what does it mean? Nothing. And then he wrestles Hechicero. Nothing match. Now he's going to wrestle Mark Davis next week. Nothing match. What the fuck are we doing with Will Ospreay? And I'm telling you right now, if Will Ospreay is not in the Owen this year, we got a problem.
Yeah, if Wembley Stadium does not end with him holding the World Heavyweight Championship high above as the show goes off the air and he's the world champion, there's trouble. Tony Khan's got problems.
Yeah.
Get back to MJF and Darby. If they wanted to, here's the other thing. If they wanted Darby, even after he climbed Mount Everest, if they wanted Darby to be the AEW World Champion, why did they have him beat Hangman at Full Gear? Why did they have him in the position of Samoa Joe? Like, shouldn't it be the other way around? Shouldn't it be Darby? After he climbed Mount Everest, he beats the Death Riders. He challenges Hangman because, he helped Hangman win the championship. Shouldn't it be the other way around? Shouldn't it be Darby winning the world championship and he transitioned it over to a heel in MJF? You had Samoa Joe, who's a heel. Like, he couldn't lose because he already lost at Wrestle Dream clean. He beats Hangman for the world title just to drop it to MJF. You transitioned the championship from one heel to another heel. Wouldn't it make more sense to transition the championship from the babyface to a heel? Like, wouldn't that make more sense?
Yep. But who am I, right? Who are we, right?
My God. And yeah, Darby Allin. You have Darby. Like let's picture this. Imagine if you're a wrestler. You are being booked as one of the top guys in the company. And you are being told by the boss, the guy who's booking you, hey, I want you to win the world championship. Would you ever turn down the opportunity to be a world champion?
No, but it's like this. But Darby winning the title last night made no sense whatsoever. He's ice cold. He goes from feuding with the fucking War Dogs to now a world champion. Where's the sense in that?
But instead Darby, he chooses instead to climb a fucking mountain. Now, granted, climbing Mount Everest, climbing the summit and surviving, that's a hell of an achievement. I mean, respect to Darby on that. That's an incredible achievement. No one can take that away from him. But shouldn't he have done that after he won the world title?
Yeah.
Like he turned down, he chose to climb a mountain, risking his life. He chose to climb a mountain when during that time they started a storyline. I made of it storyline. Like, say what you will about the Death Rise storyline, but that storyline was designed for Darby to win. It was designed for Darby to be the main character, and at the end of all of this, he was going to be the AEW World Champion. Instead, he leaves in the middle of the storyline and had to scramble, and they chose Hangman. Because Darby fucked off to climb the mountain, and by the time Darby came back, it was already too late for him to chase the world championship because they already put the belt on Hangman.
Yeah, that Darby Allin is world champion. It should have been last year, but that ship sailed. It's over. Now Darby Allin's a champ. Nobody gives a fuck because you should have done.
I like Darby. Like we like Darby. Like don't get me wrong. I like Darby. I mean, say what you will about the way he wrestles and these insane bumps that he takes, but he's actually a better wrestler than people give him credit for. Like, he can actually wrestle, normal matches, just that he does insane stuff. It's not that he doesn't deserve to be world champion. Like, he's been there since day one. He's given it his all for Tony and AEW. Like, he works hard. It's not that he doesn't deserve to be a world champion. It just, the timing of it was just so wrong. The timing was wrong. And the way it was executed was even worse.
They jobbed out MJF. Now, MJF, this is the second time this year he's been bitched out. The one with Brody King earlier this year, like a few months ago, was bad. This is worse than that. Less than a minute. Like, this is how you bitch and job MJF out. You make him look like an utter schmuck out there, get little to no offense. Oh, it was a low blow.
Who gives a shit?
He gets little to no offense. In less than 60 seconds, he's squashed by Darby like that. Fucking buried. You just buried a lot of your prestige of that world title AEW, and you fucking buried MJF. Like, that's how you job him out. This guy carried, like Dynamite was good lately with him as world champion, carrying your company. And now he's no longer the world champion. Like you just harm your product now. Taking the title off him. Now you put the belt back on him and you give him the belt, just lose it to Ospreay All In. What does it do now for your product? Nothing. When MJF should have held the title from December till August this year, with not losing a title, period, in between that.
Like, let me get this straight. Brody King, he squashes MJF. Brody King, like, he's what, 6'6", 6'8", 300 pounds. He squashes MJF, but he cannot win the world championship. But Darby Allin, a guy who is significantly, physically, size-wise and height-wise shorter than Brody King, he squashes MJF and he wins the world championship. Like no hate to Darby. I don't want to make it about size things, so claiming like he's small and all that. But it's like make it make sense. Like, how is that believable? Brody King, a guy who can physically beat the shit out of MJF and Darby in real fights, he can't win the world championship. But Darby can win the world championship, doing the same thing that Brody did a few months ago.
And you have MJF drop the title in less than a minute to one of the most coldest wrestlers on the roster now. Like, where is the sense in that? Where's
Hangman
the
Page.
tension?
Hangman Page lost a Texas death match. MJF had a Texas death match that went over 45 minutes against Hangman. He beat Hangman at his own game. But he can't beat Darby Allin in 2 minutes. MJF can beat Kenny Omega in a 40-minute match in Kenny's hometown in Canada. But he can't beat Darby Allin in Washington.
There are some idiots on social media on X defending this, saying, "Oh, this is unpredictable, like when Cody dropped the belt to Drew in 3 Stages to Hell." This is nowhere near the same as that. Not even close to that. Tony Khan crowned Darby Allin the new world champ on Dynamite last night for one reason and one reason only: to steal thunder away from WrestleMania week, because it is WrestleMania week this week, right? And Tony wanted to try and steal thunder. Well, if that was the reason Tony did that, he failed and failed miserably.
That's literally what this was for. He wanted to pop a rating.
And it's petty. It's fucking petty. Both companies are petty, but this is pure pettiness from Tony's behalf here. Are people going to be talking about Darby during WrestleMania week? No. Like, they're going to be like I said, as bad as the Pat McAfee thing is here, as bad as it is, people, whether it's good or bad, which is terrible, people are going to be talking about Pat McAfee over Darby Allin. Like, who the fuck is a Darby Allin? To some people may not know him. People more know Pat McAfee than Darby Allin. So what is this? What did this accomplish, and what does this do? Like, this is hot shot booking. This is hot shot booking. I wonder how many people were pissed off seeing this.
Like say what you will about Pat and what they're doing with the belt. People, it's still WrestleMania at the end of the day. It's the biggest show of the year.
Yeah.
It's the one that wrestling fans look forward to above anything else.
Yeah. This is terrible. This is terrible. Reckless fucking booking at its finest. Nothing but just petty booking and hotshot booking. This does nothing for the AEW product. It does nothing for the AEW title. It does nothing for MJF. It does nothing for Darby Allin. Nothing. Oh, but MJF will get a rematch in Queens. It will mean fuck all now. Because you, Tony, took the title off of MJF when that was a terrible decision last night. And the way you did it was inexcusable. This guy carried your company since winning the title again last December. And Dynamite was good lately with him as the champ. And now you bitch him out? Make him look like a scrub out there?
Oh, and there's another thing. There's another thing. Samoa Joe lost to MJF. MJF can beat Samoa Joe, but he can't beat Darby Allin. He can beat Swerve Strickland, but not Darby Allin.
And you know, when Sting came out last night on Dynamite, when he came out, yeah, you knew Darby was winning.
Yeah, we had the goatee Sting. We had the grandpa Sting cheering on his son Darby. He's telling him it's not showtime, it's your time, giving him a pep talk. It's always good. It's always good seeing Sting, though, by the way. I mean, I hope he's having a good retirement. He's doing well. See, the moment they showed him on television, you knew Darby was winning. Like, there was no way they were gonna have Sting appear on Dynamite unless the plan was for Darby to win the World Championship. And they have Darby win the championship. They have Sting come out and he celebrates with Darby. Like, there's no way they were not gonna fly Sting just for Darby to lose. They were not gonna do that. If Sting is there, you knew Darby was going to win. And they couldn't have made it any more obvious.
Yeah. It's just... man. And the other thing, you know the other thing that pissed me off, bro? They advertised this match during the pay-per-view last Sunday, and you have MJF, the world champ, at the beginning of Dynamite last night, I'm defending my title right now. Like, you make your world champion look stupid out there. When, like, correct me if I'm wrong, MJF uses social medias on X, right? On his phone, right? They advertise this match since last Sunday, and you have your world champ MJF look like a dummy saying, I'm defending my title right now. Oh, I didn't know that. Meanwhile, this guy's the world champion. You would think they'd make him look competent out there knowing he's defending his title. Oh, no, it's the main event. No, you're doing it right now. Oh, no, it's the main event. Do you know how dumb that looks?
Oh, my God. Yeah, you mean to tell me, like, let me get this. You mean to tell me you advertised this match on Sunday after MJF retained against Kenny? The MJF, he did not know. Somehow he didn't know, or somebody didn't tell him that he was defending the title on Wednesday. He had all of 3 days. He had Monday and then he had Tuesday to know. He wasn't checking in his social media. But then when he arrives in the building, that's when he's told that he's going to be defending the world championship. Like, how does he not know? Like, how? You're on social media 24/7, even if he doesn't post. Like, not everybody posts 24/7, but he sees the posts on social media. He sees tweets. He didn't know he was going to defend the world championship. Like, he looks like a fucking blithering geek. He looks like an incompetent buffoon. Then the match is gonna open. We're gonna get Darby vs. MJF in the opener. MJF, I didn't know. I didn't ask for this. And then they have Bryan Danielson then suddenly announce that the match will be the main event. It will not be the opener. Oh my God. It was all over the place.
Fucking clusterfuck that was, bro. An utter clusterfuck that was last night on Dynamite.
And then they booked the match the way it did, with MJF looking like a clown. Darby booked like he was Brock Lesnar or something. He's squashing MJF. He's squashing the world champion in 2 minutes. And this is the second time. The second time in 2 months where MJF was destroyed in less than 2 minutes.
He was made to look like a fucking scrub out there, a schmuck.
Like, and this is the other thing. In a storyline sense, what does Kenny Omega think of this? I'm not talking about real life, obviously, but talking storyline wise, what does Kenny Omega think of this? He went 40 minutes with MJF, and he could win the championship, but somehow MJF loses on Wednesday, 3 days later, in 2 minutes to Darby Allin. What does Hangman Page think of this? He lost at his own game in Texas Deathmatch. He lost in his own game in a 40-minute match with MJF. How does he feel watching Darby Allin beating MJF in 2 minutes when Hangman couldn't do it in 40? What does Swerve think of this? He couldn't regain the world championship at World's End in a fatal 4-way match. Yet Darby Allin somehow can beat MJF in 2 minutes. By the way, Swerve, who wasn't at Dynasty, by the way, and he wasn't on Dynamite also. I think I think he was at a fan signing in Houston.
Yeah.
He's at a fan signing. He was doing promotional stuff for Warner Brothers Discovery. I mean, he should be back on television soon. Maybe he can factor into the world title scene.
Yeah.
But it's like, how do those guys think? Like, they couldn't beat MJF. Hangman and Kenny in particular, they could beat this guy in 40-minute matches. Yet Darby Allin somehow can beat MJF in 2 minutes for the world championship. Like, how does that make any sense? Like, it makes nobody look good. If anything, it makes them look bad.
I don't know. This was fucking one of the worst decisions they made last night. Was crowning Darby last night. It was several months too late. And now MJF wins a belt back next month. It's not going to mean jack shit. Because you took it off of him. Because you wanted to take Thunder away from WrestleMania. And it accomplished absolutely nothing. And now Darby's the world champion. Awful. Awful, awful, awful. I got nothing more to say on this, dude. I think we both gave our reasonings on this, our rant on this, but then one other quick little sign up before we get the hell out of here. I will say this. Jim Ross, a little side note before we get the hell out of here. Jim Ross thinks Vince McMahon will have influence on WrestleMania this year.
I would love to know what JR has been smoking lately.
Do you think there's smoke, there's fire, though? Because Janelle Grant, in the situation with Janelle Grant, it may go to trial this June, or this June it may go to arbitration. Hopefully it goes to trial. But, I mean, though Vince's people are still there, like Bruce Pritchard, Michael Hayes. Vince does have a cell phone. He could call Bruce and try and get his ideas on TV. You know, nothing will change in the WWE for the good as long as people like Bruce Pritchard and Michael Hayes are still there, especially Bruce. Because as long as those clowns are still there, nothing will change.
Yeah.
So I could probably see where Jim Ross is talking about with that. I could see that. But I don't think Vince is coming back.
On no planet should Vince be coming back whatsoever.
Though they brought Brock Lesnar back at SummerSlam last year, though Brock, I think he was not guilty. I think he was found innocent, though innocent until proven guilty.
Brock Lesnar never even met Janelle Grant.
But was it in the original Janelle Grant files that Brock, a wrestler on the roster, allegedly Brock Lesnar, was said that he told the woman to urinate for him live on film and then called her a bitch?
Yeah, I think it was Brock was that was a weird, creepy, inexcusable,
Yeah.
but like here's the difference, like with him and Brock. I mean, I'm not excusing you actually, but they never even met. They may have texted, they may have known each other, but they never physically met. Like Brock didn't physically assault her or anything, like Vince did.
But
So I think this is why Brock has been he's not been charged with anything, and you can't even charge somebody if they never assaulted anyone.
I mean, innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah.
But as far as like Jim Ross thinking about with Vince having influence on Mania, I mean, if Vince's people are like Bruce are still there, yeah, I could see. But for Vince being back, I don't see him back.
No.
Unless he tries to get rid of this trial case and tries to buy back the company, but I don't know. We'll see. But that is a wrap, folks, for WrestleMania 42, Night 1 and Night 2 preview predictions and all here video here on the channel for Thursday today, April the 16th. We appreciate you showing up for WrestleMania week. You guys fucking rock. And continue to like the video, like the channel, support the channel, subscribe to FioriousNation, and hit that bell for all notifications. Helps out in the YouTube algorithm and for the channel, so help out a lot. So make sure do all that good stuff and like, subscribe, and go follow me on X at FioriNick579. Go follow Adam Carl at Adam Carl 2005 on X as well. TikTok at FioriousNation, Facebook Nicholas_Fiore_31, Instagram at Nicholas Fiore 2014 as well. Adam Carl, any other words before we get out of here?
Hope everybody enjoyed the episode. Hopefully, we gave you an entertaining time, and hope everybody has an amazing day.
With the rants on Darby Allin and Pat McAfee stuff.
Yeah. We have, and hope everybody has a great Mania weekend.
People, I seen something on X just not long ago that what if like Pat McAfee helps Roman win? We got Rock and Roman and Pat and Orton like a 2.0 authority. I don't want to see that. God, I hope not.
Please no.
Please no. That was good then. Like we don't need to see it again. We've seen that before. And I don't think it would be good. And Roman's been a heel. I think he's better off now as the face now. If anything, I think Usos cost Roman Night 2 at Mania, if anything. I think it's just fans theorizing. Yeah. Which I hope it's not actually true, but we'll see. But we will see you next time here on YouTube real soon. Possibly maybe WrestleMania Night 1 review Sunday during the day, be in the morning during the day sometime. Then the same thing late morning on night for Night 2 for Monday, but keep you guys posted on that. But hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Love every single one of you guys. You guys are great. Thank you for the support. Have a good rest of your Thursday. We'll see you soon here on the channel. And appreciate every one of you very, very much, so. Peace out, guys.